I'm not dead yet. I don't want to go on the card.
I feel happy. Oh. Well,
Your fault.
Well, folks, 2 in 1 week.
Guess what you see right here? Yeah, a little surprise for later.
Yeah.
Just realize it's in the camera shot.
Yeah.
You get to look at it anyway.
You can guess what it is.
Nah.
It's a snow cone maker.
It's an interrogation device.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Evening, folks.
Hiya. Anyway, welcome to the second to last show before
BabsCon.
because there's going to be another one next Wednesday,
Right.
and you should be here.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, next Wednesday.
Yep.
For it. So no, actually, it won't be next Wednesday because we game next Saturday.
You're right.
It'll be the
You're
week
right.
after.
I lied.
But this is the
I'm a bastard.
This is the regular kind of stream we're going to have because the stream we had before was,
It was insanity.
right. So
That would be Jaya.
yeah, we're doing catch up on things. Oh, thank you very much,
Catch up and
Orca.
wax, yeah.
So some folks who are new, I'm Baron. This is Caredwin over here. He's the guy who makes all the technology work. I'm the guy who draws the art.
No, oh my God, it was interesting earlier today.
Yes.
Yeah, when you come in and you turn on your say your encoding computer and it says Microsoft has patched, you go, oh no. And then you click on open broadcast software and then you see nothing but blue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We fixed it, obviously.
Yeah. Someday we're going to do a compile of video which basically shows you guys what happens to make one of these productions happen.
It involves a lot of drinking.
Yeah. The reason why there's always brain lubricant involved is because in some cases we start prepping for this stream the evening before.
Yeah, actually, usually.
Yeah, usually. So this is not something we just walk in, just throw a couple switches, and in 15 minutes we're live. There's a whole lot of checking and double checking and make certain that people haven't done anything. Karu, that is no problem as long as it's safe for work.
Yep. No plumbing.
Yeah, no plumbing.
Wonder why I'm holding this.
Yes. And by the way, folks, I don't have a word directly from her, but I get the impression that Jaya's show in Sacramento last night went very, very well. So.
And 7, you do not need to just imagine. All you have to do is look down underneath where it says videos. The videos are recordings. And the last 12 shows are
Now,
there.
the most recent one has not yet gone up, of which, before I leave, I need to get a stream from you. I sent you a message about that one because it just...
Yeah, that was the first one that we had not discovered that the chair was sitting on the audio cable.
Yeah, and
so the audio ain't
and
great.
Ricardo out part of the... Yeah, a bit of a blooper reel because there has been some things that have occasionally happened here that are just, well, amazing.
Yeah, so it makes you want some brain lubricant.
Yeah. And actually tonight, but
today being St. Patty's Day.
Exactly.
So we're going to do something that you should call an Irish slammer because people don't like. There are some people that don't like it when you call it an Irish car bomb.
It reminds me of the Troubles.
Yeah. So this one is. So you get to hold both glasses.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So I'm going.
He's going to join me.
Yeah.
Because this is a Boilermaker.
It's a boiler. Yeah. So you're going to hold them up.
I get Rainbow Dash.
Yeah. There you go. Yes, I've seen the art. So you do about a half a glass of Guinness. There. And a little there.
That's about half a glass.
There you go.
Hey, you're stiffing me short there.
Yeah. And then, this was the only size of, of Bailey's the store had.
Only one.
Small.
Yeah.
Bailey's Irish Cream.
You can shake it up.
And you go here. And then you take the shot glass. And I'm going to do one.
You're going to pour them in the same side and do them all together?
Yep.
You know, that's why I'm going to drink mine before yours is even done.
Yeah, I'm just going to drop them at the same time.
Exactly.
And let's say Boilermakers are basically, the classic Boilermaker is beer with a shot of whiskey, and then you drop the shot in. Yeah.
Get them in view.
Yep. And then you have to slam them real quick because Bailey's Irish Cream has cream, and it will curdle if you give it more than a few seconds.
Since your guitar is getting in the way of the shot.
So I will not get Bailey's all over the guitar.
Yes, Dusty's beautiful guitar.
Which we will. And then you take these and you go
like that. And you drink them.
Just like that. Aye. And you put on your best World of Warcraft, kind of sort of Irish, kind of sort of a dwarven accent.
Yes.
And you say, that be the way.
Right.
Boyle. Sigh.
Yes.
We are so mean to our audience. I don't know why they keep coming back.
Tasty.
Gleggle, 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 gleggle. Why don't you pay your water bill, Mac? Bravo, you are correct.
Yes.
You are very correct. Hey, Coppercheetah. All right. So now that
Saints preserve us.
would that be Saint Patty or Saint Andrew? Aye.
Do I have to choose?
Are you a Catholic atheist or are you a Protestant atheist? So enough of that, because otherwise I'm pretty sure everyone in Ireland is going to come over to my place and kill me.
Yeah. The Scotch in me is cringing. The Irish in me is cheering. Well played, Coppercheetah. Well played.
Indeed.
All
Of course,
right.
if we go back far enough, it's pretty much, but they don't want to say it's the same thing. But kind of sort of is. But all right.
Okay.
So, now that the brain is lubricated and partially destroyed.
Yeah, that's half the fun.
Right. I need to reach for this thing right here. It says...
Goater. Hey, Matt Badger, you just missed the drink.
Oh, more messages below. Hey, stop that. There we go. So now I can click on this thing, and you can tell us all about that.
Well, for folks who tuned in on Sunday, you know that I was working on some of the Power Ponies Anthro pieces, and you guys got a chance to see them kind of come together, but, you know, I didn't get a chance to usually finish the shading on all of them, so I took them all home, shaded them all up, and I figured scan them, let you guys see a better idea of what exactly we had. And this is Twilight as the Masked Matterhorn. That's actually kind of a complicated outfit she has turned into a uniform for two-legger.
Power, power, power pones, ho! And there's another power pone.
It's Radiance. And of course, Rarity makes it work.
Well, Rarity was the first of the main six in that episode to get it and fully embrace the character, and put her powers to effective use. Yeah, she's like, oh, I can make anything I want fabulous just by thinking about it. Bang, done.
Basically, the only ones that are left are Radiance
the next one.
Maniac. Maniac and Radiance have not found homes yet.
So this one is for sale.
As is Radiance.
And is this one.
So if you guys see something you like, you guys send me either like a text message or a note on DA or contact me on Smudge Marks Engel Works.
Somewhere that isn't here.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's like, if you look on the screen, right about here.
You'll see all the contact information.
See, all these, there are words. They say.
They do things.
Yeah, they do things. They get you art.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, speaking of art, let's show you some more art.
Exactly.
Okay. How about that way? Stop it.
I thought you knew what you were doing.
It's what, it's not who. So let's go to here, and then we'll go to here, because you need to come prepared.
Exactly. And of course, this is when I started at least 3 streams ago now, actually. And this is Rebel Squirrel. He's saved up some months on his Patreon. And this is his character, Shadow Vixen, or Jennifer Sherwood. And she is basically a superhero in the mid-teens in the United States. And she comes prepared for any contingencies. So that's why she's got her Stutz Bearcat, and she's got a Lewis light machine gun.
Okay. So we got, say, from that pole-sized, say, rifle to
Poles.
The pole. Yeah.
This was another one of the ones I did during the stream on Sunday.
You guys suggested it, so this is all your fault.
Yeah, it was a suggestion, yep. And that's Zakora pole dancing. And that one has found a nice home. In fact, at least it's on its way to getting to someone's home.
Indeedly doodly. Yeah. So, speaking of dancers on the stage.
This was just a couple brainstorming some stuff for a project. I may do colors of both of them. I'm probably going to definitely do a color of the carousel piece. I think I can find a buyer for it.
Absolutely. That's a shiny backside, and it needs to be in color. Do you guys agree?
Yeah. So what do you think, folks? Rain's there. Carousel there. Does that work for you in color?
I'll warn you. You're going to have to fight Dusty for it. Yeah. So and here's another one. This was really cool because recently both Bear and I have sort of gotten into electro swing music, and this is just perfect for that.
Yeah, this is actually a series. He's not in the chat, I think, at the moment. Jarrell. And he's been saving up some months, and he wants me to do a series of Anthro, grown-up Sweetie Belle, dancing with his character, who's kind of a hybrid pony dragon called Amber. And that was them doing electro swing.
Oh, by the way, I think I see somebody who may be new. Nekonote, are you, or Nekonote, are you new? If so, welcome. If not, welcome back. Pick whichever one's applicable to you.
And I believe channel 9mm.
Channel 9mm is certainly new. Hello.
Welcome to the stream.
Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, bang. There we go.
All right, back to us.
All right, so that's old art. What the hell are you going to do about new art?
Well, we're going to work on a couple things tonight. One, I'm going to work on some Patreon rewards. And I'm also going to be working on something. I made an announcement on Patreon a little while ago that folks who are not in one of my assigned $50 slots, but you have basically pledged over $100. I mean, guys,
over time,
you guys really have. That's the kind of stuff. That's the foundation that keeps this whole thing running for me. And
that's just the lighting.
And I need to do something to kind of thank and pay you guys back for this. So I'm going to be going through and I'm going to be going down the list, start at the top, working my way down. And tonight I'm going to be working on a couple people who have done over $100, but they're not one of my $50 patrons. I'm going to be working on their thank you pieces because they've kind of gotten back to me. Even though Copper Cheetah, I sent you an email and some other stuff, and I didn't get a reply back in time, so I may be picking your brains live on the air because yours is one of the pieces I'm thinking about doing tonight. So we're going to start with a Patreon reward. And we're going to do one. I don't think he's in the chat either. Lava Bat is his name.
Yeah, so I've only seen Lava Bat once or twice.
Yeah, well, he's in Australia. It's kind of an odd time possibly for him. And we're going to be, he's a new one. And I'm going to be doing a drawing for him. And he's asked me to do something I really have never done of a character before. And that is an Anthro sea lion. Not, Patina in a little sea lion suit. That comes later tonight, but a sea lion. So it's like, okay.
Very tiny little ears, if ears there are at all.
Yep, exactly.
And whiskers.
Yes.
Yeah, Generic, I was lucky enough to say that that was a pic that Baron had kept intermediate shots on. That was Velvet?
Yeah, that's just from Ask Velvet. I need to actually do a better version of that because I did exactly the thing that I always complain about with people who do those, supposedly progression pictures that they always skip over a couple steps, and I skipped like over 3 steps in that picture. So it's like, I did exactly the thing I don't like other artists doing, so I'm gonna have to...
Microsoft, I do not want to update right now.
Well, we do update this morning.
Oh, that was a different computer. Oh my God. So the tale of this morning's computer. So I come into the to the studio here. It's like, okay, let's turn on the computer and make sure everything's running fine. Comes up and I see Microsoft has updated. It's the spring, they call it creators update. I don't know what they're creating anyway. Trouble. And it's like, okay, this is going to make me feel bad. And so I go ahead and fire it up. Everything's up. I click on the Open Broadcast Software, OBS icon, and I immediately see nothing but blue. Well, crap. Blue screen is caused by drivers. Now, we use 4 Logitech cameras, and Logitech is not good about updating their drivers, even though they're still selling the C920, and we've got 2 of them. The most recent drivers are 2012, so we have to do all kinds of stuff to make it work. Well, so reboot the system, bring OBS back up, crashes again. Try again. This time okay. Let's see if we can patch OBS. Okay. This time it didn't crash, but it was interlacing, you say scan lines from camera 3, camera 4, camera 3, camera 4, camera 3, camera 4. Weirdest thing. So finally, I have a Microsoft camera as well. It's the LifeCam HD. That's the one that's waving at you from right here. and took off one of the C920s and put that in, and everything started working again. Good going Microsoft, good going Logitech. Woohoo!
Yeah, I was wild. With Jet Arts about thinking about, Logitech drivers are almost as bad as HP printer drivers.
Well, see, with HP, they're always giving you fresh bad drivers.
Ah.
Yeah. Now, ever since about 10, 12 years ago, HP outsourced their consumer printer drivers,
Mm-hmm.
and they've been nothing but garbage ever since. Yeah, but the Logitech drivers, I mean, they were fine when it was new, but they did not update them for Windows 8 or for Windows 10. So they're operating in a compatibility mode, and it works great if you have only one camera on your system, which most people do. We have 4 cameras here. And it's kind of an unusual use case, but they do claim you can do it. But you got to know some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
USB ports occur in pairs. There's like one chip drives 2 USB ports. Or one USB head drives 2 USB ports. So you need to make sure there's only one camera per port. And then things kind of sort of start working, but it's still really fragile. And yeah, so again, we have, I actually own 4 C920s. The overhead camera that Barron's, that you can see the drawing on that one, that's a 930. The main camera now is a 920. The face cam that he stares at you with is...
of which I think our camera is a bit low.
A little bit dark?
Well, no, it's a bit low. I don't know if it's not getting the very top part here.
Okay, I can adjust that.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, that's another thing it did, is that it reset everything, because I had to reinstall the drivers.
Yeah.
But I can fix that.
So if you find us occasionally going, oh, we need to tweak with something, it's because, well, Microsoft came along and train wrecked the shows today.
Yeah, that and
And and I mean, it was like the time right before Jaya showed up. We had the whole thing where we had the power outage here last time. Like, oh, great. So like I say, you folks think, oh, we show up and throw a couple switches and it all goes live. No.
I say usually.
Usually.
But that's preceded by a period of panic. Yeah. Wujara. Okay, there you go. It's French. It has a silent Q.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, there we go. Let's see what we got here. For some reason, I guess the circle going around and around, and you get. Yeah, I see that a lot on the iOS client, Vilu. If you're on a mobile device, it's just basically
and
they're
nobody called me on this.
Yeah.
Yeah. For new folks, you are given. I have to switch glasses.
You have permission to spank Barrett, well, virtually, if he does not switch glasses. So take the chance. And I'm going to actually brighten Barron's face a little bit because, no, don't want that. Advanced settings. I want that. There we go. That's a little better. That's a little better. Too much. There we go. That looks pretty good. There we go. Now your face is not shadowy and mysterious.
Ah. Well, glad you could drop by, Caro.
Good night, Caro. Yeah. Yeah, the Picardo, from Revealer's problem, Picardo streams in both FLV, which is usually Flash, and HTML5 video. And there's a couple of different flavors of HTML5 video, and browsers have a talent for picking the wrong one. They just do. A 7, it goes the other way around. We have proof. Yeah. We have proof of that one time that Patina stepped over the line and Celestia said, over my knee, young lady.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, see you later, Vilu. Sorry about your browser issues.
Mm-hmm.
Hit it with a hammer. That's my advice.
Yeah.
Always works for me. And gone. Hello, fuckfire.
Oh, Foxfire joined us. Hey.
Yeah, we got anybody else here? Let me make a quick cruise through, see who's new and see who is you. Who we got?
Yeah, one of the things I'm doing with the this character is she's not going to be all that busty. I know sometimes people love making the really
Top heavy.
Yes, but that's drag when you're in the water, to be blunt.
Yeah. Speaking over her knee, how did Bettina take it?
Squealing.
Yeah, probably. Oh wait, this isn't supposed to be one of those love things. It's one of those I'm disappointed in you things. Oh,
Yes.
that hurts.
Yes. It was
Yeah.
from her.
Yeah, Celeste does not administer beatings. She just warms your backside. It's the look of disappointment on her face that stings.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's like, oh, well, this isn't as much fun as I thought it would be.
Yeah. And Mom is really genuinely not happy with me.
Yep. So, shame on you. I don't feel shame. Oh wait, is this shame?
Yeah.
I don't like it. Yeah. Percussive maintenance.
Mm-hmm.
They generic. They would say in such a case they would probably make it difficult to swim in a straight line.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They would unbalance things.
Yeah. Basically, if you want to look at Olympic female swimmers.
Yeah. Too much drag.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, what other fun and wonderful news is there?
Well, I can tell folks that Clear Skies is shipping me out the Lazy Camp comics, and they have arrived, and we will have them for sale at BabsCon in a couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And he is shipping me out more rule books, and those should hopefully arrive in the next couple of days. We'll have those for the convention for sale. And of course, we're going to be doing, we'll have a table in the vendors hall at BabsCon, table L6. And we're going to be doing a panel discussion, and we're going to be doing a game demo at the con.
Now, speaking of stuff for sale, we saw something that's going to be for sale at BabsCon earlier today.
Oh, yes.
Just like, why, Dusty? Why? And the answer to that is because Dusty. He got an artist to make him a Daiki Kimura of Overhaul his Pwn character, and it's like, Dusty.
Hey, well, I mean,
and he's like, ha, ha, ha.
Yeah, I'm looking at getting a I mean, to finish up, I've been.
Yes, Shauna. Yes, you can.
Because I actually need to show McClaw. I just realized McClaw, the back picture I did for the second part of the Daki for Patina. I got that done. And I've been playing around with my digital color, and I think I've got something maybe in the near future that'll be good enough that I can actually send off to have that done. And once that is finished, I was thinking about, would folks be possibly interested in a carousel Daki?
Do you want a body pillow of carousel? Yes, you do. You want it. You know it. We should start doing, poll stuff to see, see what types of merch people might actually want. So.
Frank, yes.
Are you sure? You sound hesitant.
Yes.
What does Patina's voice? Sounds like Peggy Lee from Lady and the Tramp.
Basically, Patina's voice, you have to understand that she was originally born in Provence, France, and then when she was about 7 years old, her parents moved to New Orleans.
Daiki Kimura. Daiki Kimura is Japanese term for body pillow. Those are those, 5 foot long, 1.5 foot in diameter body huggy pillows that you get a pillowcase made for them that has usually your favorite anime character on it. The front side has usually her from the front. The back side has her from the back side.
Or side view.
The front side is usually clothed. The back side usually is not.
Yes. Of course, this is a pony, so.
Well, so it's like, but rarity, we don't normally wear
clothes.
Daki Makura. Yeah. How about one of Melody?
Well, it'll be a little small neck pillow. Of course, the whole thing that's neat about patina is I can do the mouse size neck one, and then I can do a pony one of her, and then I can do like an anthro pony of one of her, and then I can do like a bat because she's got all these. She's got a hold of the modeling program.
Yep. Yeah, Corwin, you know, our volume level is actually a little bit higher than it is normally. So again, double check that little window because sometimes, you know, the browser will mess with you and bring up the window with like half volume.
Yep.
Hover your mouse over the window and look in the lower left and see what the little slider says.
Yep.
Hello, Mr. Yowie.
We did a
Hey, Mr. Yowie, have you been here before?
Yeah, you knew.
Yeah. I say if so, welcome back. If not, just plain welcome. Yeah. So yeah, Yamanashi, Imanashi, Ochinashi. No summit, no point, no meaning. Yeah. That's basically male shipping done by female artists.
Yeah.
Well,
Let's do it this way.
Hi, Raw Green. Are you new? Yeah. Welcome to Raw Green. And all that good stuff.
Yeah. Liberty from Hell that my wife did. That was Yowie. That was so Yowie.
Yep. Yeah. See, not like burn your eyes out, Yowie, which some of it is, but.
No. Well, yeah, a story.
Yeah. That probably got in the way. Believe me, I know how that goes.
Yes. Well, we actually, your story was a wee bit of the inspiration for how we wanted to go about tackling it.
Yep.
It's like, we're going to have a story about people having a relationship and dealing with problems, and that's going to be first and foremost. Now, I'm playing a little game with this character because I don't want to give her flipper hands because then if she's after, she'd have a real hard time handling anything. But I want to give her some kind of thing, so I'm kind of giving her like some reinforced flexible material on her like arms, basically to kind of take the role of the flippers, give her some additional surface for getting a stroke when she's swimming. I am totally making this up as I go along, folks. This is like me. I grabbed some reference before I left from my Patina's little sea lion suit outfit folder I have, and threw that in here. But this is you're watching me create from whole cloth as we go along.
Yeah. Let's see what else we got here. Yeah, Patina, she's all the things you want to see. Yeah, saying for newly arrived folk, just to be clear, while Baron does pinup art that is largely female, he is not averse to doing the male figure.
Nope.
Go see his deviant art.
Yeah. Well, the one we had on Sunday, with the creative.
Yeah. Just happened to come to Picardo for inspiration. Yeah. Well, there you go. Yeah. So actually, there are a few folks that use this as an opportunity to draw themselves. This is just so you know, new folks. We do a 4-hour show. We do take a break once per hour on the half hour. So that means at 6:30 Pacific, 7:30, and 8:30 Pacific, we'll take a 5-minute break and go be biological.
You should too.
We're in the first hour. Baron is doing Picardo rewards right now. He has Picardo
Patron
rewards. Picardo rewards too, because you're all being rewarded for showing up. He's doing a Patreon rewards, and he does have a brackets saying Patreon for you get one sketch every month. He also does cumulative. If you can't afford let's say the full Monty, as it were, it's like, well,
or the slots are all full anyways.
Or the slots are all full. It'll accumulate, and Patreon will say tells Baron, over the last year, this person's given $120. Like, well, hell, I'd better do a drawing for him then.
Yeah,
shouldn't I?
Well, the other thing too is that they're going to be haven't implemented yet, but I was in on one of their live chats they did, and they've got a thing called attainment tracking.
Shauna, that would be Dean.
Yeah.
The otter's name for. Dean, I want to say Dean Wilson, but
from Olympics.
I want to say Dean Wilson, but I'm not sure if that's true.
The California otter,
for sure.
Yeah,
they're going all the way.
But they got a thing called attainment, which is going to make it a lot easier for creators to be able to keep track of this kind of stuff. Say, oh wait a minute, you give me $500. Cripes, you get something extra. That kind of thing.
Yep, Dean Wilson. Yeah, not Dean Wormer. That's different. That's Animal House. Delta House. More like Dorothy Lamour. You can see Patina has a big band singer. Yeah, we've been actually talking about the intro that we have right now, which has the guitar cover of Wicked Game. That's great. In about another 6 months, it may start to get a little old, so I'm starting to do some planning now on what the late 2018 intro might look like. And one of the genres we were considering was electro swing, because electro swing is so very patina.
Yes. Now, one of the things we may end up doing, once again, the patrons will get a chance to have a say on, is we may have a poll. We may say, okay, here's our choices. Vote, and the one that gets the most vote will become the new music.
There you go. There's your answer, Battle Axe. We did Irish Slammers, formerly known as Irish Car Bombs, but apparently it's getting more and more. Don't order it by that name, because some bartenders go, that wasn't a happy time.
No.
So out of respect, that is fine.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, so we've got a few songs in mind. We actually with great Machiavellian intent, choose the music very carefully for the pre-show and for the intro to sort of help set a mood. I guarantee that if we use Icelandic death metal, the character of the chat might be a little bit different. Yeah. So yeah, we're manipulating your brains here.
Yeah. And also, just so you guys know, you yourselves actually end up setting the tone quite a bit.
Yeah, no, exactly.
People who show up, in the way, they look around, they see how people are acting, and they go, oh, okay, it's this kind of crowd.
Come for the art, stay for the people.
Exactly.
That'll be you guys.
Yeah.
All right.
And you guys, and I'm still amazed how, because I know some of you folks, this is not 5:30 in your neck of the woods. It's much, much later in the.
I see a new person.
Oh, new person.
Vitarin, hello, welcome. Or if it's not your first time, welcome back. Pick whichever one you like best. What else we got here? Okay, everybody else I think I've seen at least once before. Or at least I've said hi at. Monty Python intro music. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Liberty Bell March.
I don't want to squash my audience.
Yeah. So let's see what we got here.
Time to switch pencils, actually.
Is Icelandic death metal different from American death metal? Yeah, they mean it.
Yeah.
Say again, when you're very, very near the Arctic Circle, and in the depths of winter, you might get half an hour of sunlight a day, maybe.
Yeah.
You get a different attitude towards life. And then you sound like
hey,
this.
Dan Bear.
So. No kills with engage. So no kill switch engaged likely anytime soon. Probably not. Yeah. Wonders how much for a rubber patina daikimura. Don't know if they print on latex. Yeah.
Patina can look into it for you.
Yeah. But Baron, Celestia's hoof making a funny little squish would be amusing. Oh, that's right, Shakat. There's a golfer. Baron has a piece of artwork that is nominated for the Ursa Major Award, which is the furry community's Oscars, as it were, which you guys get to vote on. So if you want to put up a link, Goldfur, that would be very handy.
Yes.
And it's going to be awarded at an Australian FurryCon pretty soon.
That Goldfur is going to be attending.
There you go. Goldfur's got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was there'll be a link to the. You'll be able to see the pictures. And it was actually a commission that Goldfur saved up for a while for. And if you've ever seen it, it's basically the battle bridge of a Zeppelin, counterattacking the siege of Canterlot.
No, the Crystal Empire.
Crystal Empire.
It was the Crystal Empire.
Crystal Empire.
It's Crystal Empire under siege, basically, by Chrysalis and the Changelings.
And I can only imagine Celestia's hoof making a squeak sound instead of the cash register sound. Well, that's because it's the cutie mark that goes ka-ching.
Yeah, you have to hit the cutie mark just
right.
That's
on the side. It's like, no, if you're going to be doing that kind of thing, if you're putting someone over your knee, you go for the jiggly, fleshy part. So, if nothing else, it's not going to leave nasty bruises. But anyway, so I've heard.
Rumor has it.
Yeah, exactly. I read it somewhere.
So it must be true.
I read it on the internet.
Exactly.
The internet never lies. Yeah. So, Did we do our duty? No, we have not done our duty yet, but we will do it shortly.
Yes.
Duty.
Duty. Duty. Ah.
Yeah, and a little bit later on tonight, by the way, I'm going to be showing what this thing is, because that's something else that's going to be available at BabsCon in the charity auction. What in the hell could it possibly be? I don't know, but you'll find out a little bit later.
Yep.
And I will show you how not to use it.
And I'm going to have a piece of work in the charity auction too, which was something that folks last year watched me create on the air here.
Excellent.
That Lyra piece.
Yeah, not the. Oh, that's right. The Lyra with a lyre. Okay,
Yeah.
I was thinking for the Doctor Strange. Piece.
No,
that didn't last very long.
No, that has a good home now.
Yeah.
I just got word of that yesterday from the buyer.
Actually, Lego, if you go to Baron's DeviantArt and look in the and sign in because age, and look at the Patina de Mouse folder, you will see something very similar. You will see chocolate and you will see hard shell candy.
What is this?
Legos of Patina in a sealed form rubber suit. It's like if you're looking for shiny Patina, it's out there.
Yes. Oh, well, more of a just
It's
a
Iron
little
Will's axe guitar.
Just a little thing. I'll let you know. You're gonna be seeing shiny Patina tonight, anyways. Because one of the Patreon rewards I'm going to be working on is going to be for Tebow. Yay!
Yeah, that's the piece that's nominated. It's I saw Baron working on that one for a while, and it's like, yeah, it's very, very involved.
Yeah, it was a very large piece of work too.
Yeah.
The only one I've done recently that's been larger is your piece.
Yeah.
The Field of Battle.
Well, that's just natural.
Yeah, let's get back. Okay.
I'm compensating.
If the target piece is going to be this big, then I have to make Celeste at least this large, which means automatically the picture has to be, oh boy.
Yeah. So you got to pay by the square inch.
Well, you saved up for that one.
Yeah, which reminds me.
Yeah, I was gonna mention we need to get some things hammered out for yours because
you start development work on it.
You definitely have got you've earned your money on that one.
Yep.
So.
Is milk chocolate or dark? Yeah, always dark chocolate. Always dark chocolate. That's got to be the answer. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the 7 cents, and I quote, ooh. Yeah, Dr. Engel's leather in his spray exploded onto Patina. Mm-hmm. Say more along the lines of about 10 gallons of Hershey's Magic Shell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, actually, there is again, you have to be signed in to see it. Look in, again, at Baron's DeviantArt in the Vipera Vixen subdirectory, subgallery. There is Dr. Engel's leather in a spray being applied to one Vipera Vixen super villain.
Mm-hmm.
So, and she wears it well.
Yes, she does well. She's received the training.
Dr. Engel's leather in a can, not with studs.
Exactly.
Yeah, and again, that's what rattles when you shake the can up. Tebow says, request for Shiny Chandra borrowing one of Patina's suits.
Yes.
Okay, double check.
Yes.
Godiva or lint. Depends upon which lint. The lint 70% cocoa is godlike. It's one of the best. The other lints I'm not so enthusiastic about, but that one's the perfect ratio. But yeah, we'll circle back, Tebow. Yeah, you just want to make sure that that was the correct character.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Shiny Chandra, not shiny. Okay. Yeah.
Well, let's put it this way, Tebow. Would you mind if Patina joined her?
Uh-oh. 2 shinies.
You have a problem with that?
Yeah.
You have a problem with Patina joining?
You got a problem with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got an issue?
Yeah. Actually, Foxfire, for just the regular chocolate, I tend to agree. Their chocolate liqueur is really good. The Godiva,
Yes, the kernel can only double the shine.
Yeah. Yeah, Dr. Engel's leather in a can also works on fiberglass boats.
Mm-hmm.
Patches the holes. Yeah, back about 3 years ago, hosted a party at BabsCon, and sort of more or less invented a drink You know, it was basically hot coffee, a shot of Godiva, a shot of Bailey's, whipped cream on top, sprinkled cocoa powder on top, and it made princesses misbehave. That's as far as we'll go, because what happens at the party
Stays at the party.
There was a bathtub involved.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, Cato, that's not good for you. If somebody shakes you, all of a sudden so you're likely to start, you know, spitting studs out your
Ears.
places. Yeah. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and do our duty, because duties need to be done. You said duty. And what the hell could our duty possibly be?
Especially since I need to go down to them tomorrow, so I want to make sure I'm on good standing when I step through the door.
And you're going right there to University Arts, which is a high-end art supplies and framing store that has been kind enough to sponsor Baron.
Mm-hmm.
So to them we say thank you. University Arts has outlets in Sacramento and Redwood City and San Jose, California. A museum-quality framing shop that has handled Picasso's, Albert Durer, original Nobel Award letters, you know, some pretty serious stuff. You know, even there's original Rembrandt too.
Yeah. Oh, I remember one day when I was there working the counter, and we realized at one point that we had $500,000 worth of work sitting on the counter, and we said,
jobs that are delivered by an armed guard.
Yeah, we're going to take a moment. We're going to move this all into the back of the shop.
Right, yes. Yeah, so again, it's not just about art supplies. Their sales staff is very knowledgeable, all artists themselves. They're not on commission, so they're not going to be pushing the high-end stuff if that's not what you need. They also have seminars, they have workshops, they have craft fairs, you know, all the good stuff. So again, we want to thank them for sponsoring Baron by keeping him supplied with art supplies, and for putting up with him for 20 years.
Yep, that in itself is a...
They have the patience of a saint. Yeah. So that is our duty.
Our duty is done. And in case he's lurking tonight, hi Mike, hi Jeff.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, best Roddy voice. No, I should do it in another voice like this. I should do it in the Randy Savage voice. Oh, yeah.
Well, that won't keep Dusty coming here, dude.
Yeah, there we go. Gotta be stepping on his toes.
Yeah.
Or we can do it in the silky, soft, sexy voice. Go to University Art. Oh, they are special.
Are we doing a commercial blurb at that point, or an ASMR?
Yeah. Well, 5 to 7 with time off for good behavior, more like. Yeah. So, Randy Savage sounded like Bill Cosby about to kick some pudding pops. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, well, that'll come up at the trial, no doubt. The paper you are using, Baron, what type is it?
This, what I'm working on is Spring Hills Digital White. I am going to be probably...
It's a card stock, not a cover stock, not a regular paper.
Well, it's a 80 pound, so it's basically it's a card stock weight almost. I am probably going to be switching brands, actually. I'm going to try, the Kelly paper actually has a house brand white that I've been experimenting with, and I really have been liking the results. And it's got a very nice finish, and it erases a little bit better than this one does. It is a bit more expensive, about double the price, but what we're looking at then, folks, is 250 sheets of paper for 14 bucks. 250 for 14. I think I can work with that, and it's a good pH neutral paper too.
Yeah, they're a hell of a lot cheaper than Strathmore 400.
Strathmore 400 is great, and I
I
use it when that's what it's the right thing for the job. But you know, as I pointed out last year, I did 850 drawings. So that starts eating into your profit margin if you have to start, accounting for 12 or 14 bucks a pad.
Yeah.
When I actually get a pad of it in the email, I'll send like a link to their site. It's actually a very, very nice paper. The thing I like about Kelly Papers, you can go in there and they will give you individual sheets to go home and try and experiment with, and you come back and say, yeah, make an informed decision. I want a ream of that. I don't know if they have locations outside of the San Francisco Bay Area, but they have multiple locations around where I live.
A little bit here and a little bit there.
Yep.
I guess we could say, Agni, that she has your seal of approval. I'm bad.
Welcome back, Prow.
I guess Celestia's just going to have to. Oh, never mind. No, the real punishment. No, I won't.
Oh, well, I've been bad. Yes, I know. And that's why I won't punish you. Ah! The catch-22. Gotcha.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, Mimir, is that so the saying goes, you got 10,000 bad drawings in you, the sooner you get them out of you, the better. And that was from Chuck Jones' father. And so Chuck Jones used to draw like on the backside of discarded paper. You know, and then he, so he became one of the world's great animators.
Yeah, and even if you're planning on doing digital as your main final media, and there's nothing wrong with that, a lot of the skills you learn here are applicable to the...
Oh, it's all the same. I mean, the anatomy is the same, the lighting principles are the same, and
I mean,
the whole bit,
The only thing for me that I'm finding that is
that's right, Raw, you should.
Is I've been struggling with digital is getting my color mixing, because it's so 180 degrees opposite of how I have ingrained.
It's again, the difference between additive color and subtractive color.
Yeah, but where usually I'd say, okay, I'm going to mix this brown and red and make this color. It's like, no, you do this. It's like,
Well, by the way, folks, if any of you are artists and you have some safe for work links, feel free to post them.
Yeah.
Feel free to post them. Yeah. Say we want all you guys to look at all these stuff.
Yeah.
And I think I see somebody new, Kitsune 633. Have you been here before? If so, well, welcome back. Otherwise, just plain welcome. Pick your favorite. They both work. What do we got here? You'll see. Baron's that guy over.
Hi, I'm Baron.
Yeah. Poke your head. I poke your head. And I'm not. I'm this guy over here. I'm Caradwin. Hi. I'm Caradwin. Always prefer the all good things future communicator to the future imperfect version. You're getting Star Trek on us again.
By the way, thank you very much, Catspaw.
Yeah. So go buy some. It's good for you.
Well, I say it's good practice paper, and it means quite often I'm doing my thumbnails and layouts on the same paper that I do finished pictures on. So there's no like, oh, well, now that I'm going to my final working surface, it's slightly different than my practice surface was. Oh, I can't use exactly that. Hey, Panky, glad you could join us.
Yep. There's you guys, right there. There's the back of Baron's head, right there.
Well, am I intruding into the camera?
Nope.
Okay.
No, I'm just.
Are you playing with the bear cam?
I'm preparing with playing with the other cam.
Okay, all right. Gotta make sure I'm not intruding into the projector. We did move the camera, so I'm still getting kind of used to its space.
Boop.
Add drop it again.
How too basic.
No, I don't have a hole.
How
in my
to cool your laptop.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have enough eggs.
Yeah, and I don't want to have a hole in my table when I'm done.
Yeah.
This is actually not a bad drawing table.
Yeah.
Morris, it's a very, very
It
close.
was the one you recommended.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Lego, we did here. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Stephen Hawking's gone to another dimension.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, one of the greatest minds of our time, and it's a side thing, by far the longest living survivor of Lou Gehrig's disease.
Yep.
Yeah, most of the time you get diagnosed, it's like, we're not going to have this conversation in 5 years. He was diagnosed in 1963.
Yep.
Which would make it 54 years of survival.
Yep.
Holy cow.
And besides that, we lost the creator of the Speak and Spell voice.
Yep, it is true. What's that giant white thing? That's me. No, wait a minute. What?
What's a giant white? Yeah. What giant
white?
White?
Which white thing? Which white thing were we?
Yes. Relative.
Yeah, Baron's
hair. That's silver gray.
At least, yeah, it's executive.
Yeah. It's the same color.
That one right there. Yeah. That's Celestia.
Yes, our great princess.
And that.
And Mighty Muffin has arrived early tonight.
Mighty Muffin.
And I have to ask Mighty Muffin, so you're back. How'd the con go? Because you were at a convention and you were selling.
Oh, best ponies hiding behind. Well, golly, that's just the nicest thing you ever could possibly say. There we go. Okay, this is, say there's keyboards that I play. This is the other type of keyboard that I play. Encoder. Now there are 3 computers in this. Say 3 computers turned on in this room. That would be the one that Baron uses as a you know, to watch you guys. Yeah. And one for us to monitor the channel. That's whoop. That would be you guys. There's where you are. Hi. And then the computer for the encoder. There you go. There you go.
You can't monitor chat and encode at the same time very well.
Can you walk and Chewbacca at the same time? There we go.
Oh, they had food vendors. Were they good food vendors? Yeah.
So folks who don't know, Mr. Mighty Muffins is something of a foodie. Yeah, when he runs his art channel, he will sometimes treat us to imported Japanese, as a Japanese market, Iron Chef.
It was legit food vendors passing out snacks, pizza, snacks, drinks, and $1 cups of ramen noodles.
Must not have been a union shop.
It was so dope.
Without a subsidy.
Was it, okay, now were they good ramen noodles?
Hey, as long as there's salt.
Because I'm very fond of ramen.
The best ramen noodles out there, by the way, is from an Indonesian company called Indomie. They make some really good ramen noodles. They're more complicated to prepare than most. I mean, it's because the packet of flavors that comes with it actually has 5 different compartments. 2 of them are oils, which means what you do is you cook the noodles, you drain them, you put the oils on them. You know, one of them is spicy oil, one of them is sort of like a sweet glaze, sweet soy glaze. They have a little packet of dried onion flakes, and then they have a sort of a salt and garlic packet, and then chili powder. And you put as much on as you like. Mix it all up, and they are delicious.
Well, when I'm referring to ramen, I'm referring to like going to an actual ramen house and getting.
Oh, you're udon, you know.
Yeah, going to a real place and get some other. We'll get the chow so pork and the soft egg, and it's like, yeah. Maury's Kitchen, Ringer Hut, which finally reopened back up again after a major.
Well, yes, Bravo, yes, they can. Hey, Rainbow Dash got her jam on.
Yeah. Okay, we got 4 minutes to go. Let's get this thing finished up here.
Yep. Yeah. Every anime. There is a store. There is a store nearby. It's a Japanese dollar store called Daiso, D-A-I-S-O, and they've got a couple of stores here in the Bay Area, and you can get Pocky for $1 a box.
Yep.
You can also order it on Amazon. It's a little more expensive, but not too bad. It's like $1.25, $1.50 a box if you buy it in in quantity 10. I've taken a habit of having Amazon drop ship them to to folks just randomly. It's like, have some Pocky, So, yeah, there is a really good udon place in Emeryville, by the way, in the Emeryville Public Market. Or at least it used to be. I don't know if it's still there. The noodles were, over a quarter of an inch thick. You could whack somebody with them.
Yeah. Also, there's Mitsuo Market by us in San Jose, and they've got a little ramen noodle stand inside the place, and they've got the best soba noodles.
Oh my God, they had a Bob Ross cosplayer. Why, yes, Bravo, yes, it does. Yeah. Now, Daiso, at most dollar stores, the stuff that they have is crap. Daiso is like, everything they have there is like really useful.
Yeah.
And well made, and it's like, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. All right, let's take a look at this cosplayer. Great. And was he actually doing the painting? I mean, that would be over the top if he was actually doing landscapes while he was there.
I actually met Bob years and years and years ago.
Oh, you did?
Yes, I was taking painting classes at an art store, not University Art, but another one that was at that time in Saratoga, and he actually conducted a workshop there, and they actually filmed for one of his videos.
Oh, nice.
And I think if you look in the background, you'll see a much skinnier version of me with black hair.
That's nice.
I wasn't actually taking his workshop, but I was just in there painting. But I got a chance, man. He was a very, very laid-back guy. I mean, off camera, Bob was more or less like what Bob was on camera, which is kind of like what I've tried to project for myself when I'm here. I don't really try to put on any kind of a, stage face or anything like that. I try to just be me on camera. He was a pretty cool dude. All right, it's 6:29. I'm gonna put on.
Yeah, let us paint some happy little crime lord vixens. Yes, absolutely.
There. All right.
Hooray.
Okay, switch cameras. All right, so we are going to take our first 5-minute break. Love the little icon he's got there. Thanks, Mighty. When you lived as long as I have, you end up meeting lots of people. But we're going to take our first 5-minute break, and then when we're back, we're going to jump back in, and we're going to do some more artwork. I'm going to get up and stretch and walk around. You guys should do the same. Get yourself something to drink.
Drop and give me 20. 1, 2,
And
1, 2, 1, 2.
while he's doing 20, we'll see you in 5. Welcome back. By the way, Nozumi, I actually had a commission that started years and years, 20 years ago now almost, of it was going to be a patina covered in honey. I did all the development drawings, and then the client basically bowed out of it, so it never got finished.
Aww.
Yeah.
Someone want to adopt it?
I'd want to redo the picture now because I can draw her much better than at that time. But yeah, I had patina covered in honey. At one point.
Yeah, honey, by the way, is a natural antibiotic.
Mm-hmm.
And there are many cultures that do not have Western medicines. That, okay, you get a boo-boo, take some honey, blip, keep the ants off it, and it's like, oh, it didn't get infected. How about that?
Yep.
Yeah, probably tastes better than Neosporin too.
Yes.
So, what the hell are we going to do this this hour?
What we're going to do...
And who the hell are we going to do it for, hell? Nom, 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 nom.
Nom, 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 nom. Keeping with the shiny stuff and everything, I'm going to take care of Tebow's Patreon reward.
So watch carefully, Tebow.
Mm-hmm. But by the way, Carradwin's roommate put out this incredibly awesome spread of Irish cheeses, so...
Yeah,
I had one.
Nom, 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 nom. Yeah, me, I'm just going to have to make do with...
Oh, darn. I can go for some of that.
Straight up?
Sure.
Yeah, you got it.
Unless you want to make another car bomb.
I'd have to go get equipment. Maybe the third hour.
Okay. Well, I'm sure we don't use it all for dinner, too. We want to get us with dinner.
Damn.
Thank you, sir.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Slainte.
Slainte.
That's so tasty.
Yes.
Aren't you glad we're not on broadcast TV? You can't show people drinking because that's like booze. Damn right.
Yeah, patina covered in honey. Well, I mean, she's already been covered in chocolate, been covered in candy. She's actually going to end up getting covered with some other stuff in the near future, too. So.
Nozumi, when Baron's involved, the jugs are always... Wait, we just saw evidence to the contrary.
That's right.
So that's what that's what I get for stereotyping.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I still need to do the picture of her with the frozen banana. Yeah. Yep.
Peekoo, peekoo.
Maybe I'll do that sometime. Maybe I'll do that on the air as a color pencil piece some night.
Dan Bear, if you ever get a chance to when you do a mudslide, instead of using regular chocolate liqueur, use this stuff. La Dorda.
I will say, K-Fox, I'll generally agree with you, but tonight I'm going to find out from his roommate what this green vein cheese was he had, because it was amazing.
Yeah, I think it's called a Dubliner.
If it is, I need some more in my life.
Yeah, so
that was on apple slices with bread. That would make for a great
Yeah, or let's say,
afternoon
or
snack.
to hell with the gorgonzola, do that in a Waldorf salad.
Actually, I think that'd be better than the gorgonzola, actually, because I mean, you can eat that stuff straight, no problem. All right, so, and I want to thank all the followers out there who are throwing up all these wonderful links to Patina. She's a very useful character.
Wensleydale.
Mm-hmm.
All righty. Well, you about ready to get to it?
Yeah. Yep. So,
I'm going to push this button right here.
I need to wrote this to switch glasses to my.
Get you guys one of these. Stream Deck.
Stream Decks are awesome.
Yeah, they should have sent me a free one, but they didn't. Screw them. So actually, I'm going to reach over here, and I'm going to click this thing right here.
Yeah, frozen banana.
Yep, frozen banana. Because I have a thing to show you guys. There we go. All right. Oh, very proud of this front row stand back. Now, this right here is a custom guitar made by Dusty Cat. It is based upon a Fender Stratocaster Squire with heavily upgraded electronics. It's been, professionally set up.
The proper luthier has gone in and
Yeah, to say again, custom body work. Feels real good too. It's got a really nice sound, at least until I touch it. Then it's not so good. It's good. This is going to be for sale in the charity auction at BabsCon, and you guys should go and bid on it.
Actually, the only problem, I could see her in a Playboy Bunny suit, but she wouldn't wear a Black Widow spider costume. Well, yeah, not Black Widow spider, because she's very, very scared of spiders, actually. But what Tebow wanted me to do was a picture of his bunny character, Chandra, in one of those sea lion suits that Patina has, shrunk down to Patina size so she can wear it. And I had made the observation would, be a problem if Patina basically came along. I mean, when you're swimming in this kind of suit, you want to have a spotter anyways. Either inside or outside the tank, preferably both. So that's what we're gonna do.
Wink. That's me. Yeah, going awful. Now, I know this much about electric guitar playing. This much. The only guitar playing I've ever done is acoustic, and I'm not even very good at that. But there are those who will be able to make this thing sing.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Rubber Vixen.
It's nice. It's nice. It's nice like my... No, the only classical gas renditions I do have been banned by the Geneva Convention. There are rules. Yeah. Well, by the way, we timed it. This thing has got
Legs.
yeah. La Petamane. Yeah. But on the if we just let it ring like that, it would still be audible. We timed it 40 seconds from now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, the neck on this thing is
Solid.
It's about as stiff as a drink the way I pour them.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Jai did thank you for putting the... So what has Patina been up to of late? Lots of things. Lots and lots and lots of things. Of course, you know, and, for my patrons, in case you're wondering, yes, I got kind of behind schedule on getting some things done, but I will be putting up new Dreamscape stuff. Hopefully put up the first posting tomorrow. Get things back up again and rolling, since we had a bit of a hiatus there, and I want to get as much up stuff as I can before BabsCon rolls around for folks.
So let's see. The question. First one from Mighty. The best and worst purchases ever made.
That we personally have done?
Yeah. Oh, geez. Because there's so many categories. Best. Automotively, it's my current car, which is a 2014 Mustang GT convertible. I am loving it. It is bright red with a color, with a tan leather interior. The color is saddle, of course, because it's a Mustang, of course. And Amanda Pyle, Brony Mommy, named it. It's Big Red. And I have a pair of giant refrigerator magnets with a Big Mac's cutie mark on it.
More importantly, you have a special license plate for it.
Yep. So it has treated me so well. That's one of the best purchases I've made.
And of course, Sylvan just recently made a purchase of a very, very nice vehicle, particularly for his neck of the woods. Got himself a 2018 Rubicon.
Nice.
Yeah.
Worst. Again, there's a bunch of little things, that were disappointments, or arrived broken or whatever. Nothing immediate comes to mind. I mean, I'm very disappointed in my Logitech G710 keyboard, because the keycaps have started falling off. It's a well-known problem. They say the plastic on the little collar that holds them on starts to split, and Logitech goes out of their way to not honor their warranty. So boo on Logitech for being buttholes about it. That's a very recent thing. Oh, geez. I was very disappointed in the repairs that were done to my Mazda Speed 6. That doesn't count. Oh, geez. We've got an update for you. Windows, you are being about as pesty as just about anything. So another time, try again like never. Didn't you use a car where Dusty not stayed? Brody, my friends, are chasing broadcasters. Yes. Yep. Yeah, it is definitely a burnout mobile. Again, it's an American V8. There is no replacement for displacement. It gets about a mile a gallon. Actually, it's not that bad.
Yeah, your Mustang is, if you're driving of any kind of sensibility, even if you're being a little bit
squirrely,
ham-fisted.
It does poorly in the city, mostly because at idle it still takes a fair amount of gas to keep 5 liters spinning. On the highway it'll get 28 miles a gallon.
Yeah.
And that's at 75 miles an hour.
Yeah, because when we go down for our trips to LA, it does well.
Yeah, and if I have to really, like an emergency, like, oh crap, I'm in the middle of nowhere and I forgot to hit that gas station. If I set the cruise control at 45, it'll get about 35 miles to the gallon, which is not too bad. Yeah, but no, it handles very nicely. Yes, it's a solid rear axle, but it's a really good one. And it's comfortable. It doesn't beat you up.
Yeah, you can ride in the thing for 8-9 hours, get to your destination, and you're not the living dead. I remember it was actually one of the first streams that we did. It was back when we were still over on Ustream, when we went down to LA for Lauren's Silmar Wildlife Festival.
Yes.
And we drove down on a Saturday and streamed on a Sunday the next day.
Yeah, like 4 times now. There's been like events down in Southern California, like Mitch Larson's book signings for the new book in his Pennyroyal Academy series, which you should buy. Or when Lauren Faust does her fundraisers for the Sylmar Wildlife Center, which you should support. That's down. Say that's the full length of the state of California. Well, most of the full length, and back in the same day. It's probably about 850, 900 miles total. And again, you're a little bit tired at the end of the day, but I've done that same thing in the Mazda, and night and day.
Yeah.
Night and day.
If there's anything about the Mazda is that
Widget, it's the Coyote. Yeah, go ahead.
Is the fact that it is a very easy car for you to let the speed sneak up on you if you're on someplace like Interstate 5 or something like that. You're just going bopping along, and then suddenly you realize I'm doing 90. Maybe I should dial it back.
Yeah.
before the big black and white and blue
Woo!
find me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Big black and white.
Yeah. 56 gallons per hour diesel. Yeah. Yeah, of course, the nice thing about an M1 Abrams is that, if you say, I'd like gas at a discount. Yeah. So.
Now we're going to rotate this now because I'm going to be working on patina. I'm not putting in her eyeballs yet until I have
an eye line.
Yeah, patina in the pictures. I make sure they're actually looking at each other's eyes.
Yeah.
Look into my
here.
eyes. Yeah. Look into my eyes.
Yeah, my eyes are up here. It's like, yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
So. 2005 Camry. Well, it's a Toyota. You can't kill it.
Nope.
Yep.
It's like a Toyota Hilux pickup.
So again, Chris had a Toyota SR5, I think it was, pickup, and it was finally destroyed in a wreck with 320,000 miles on it.
Yeah. Probably would have gone another 100,000 if it hadn't gotten hit.
Renard, let me talk to you about Mazda 3s and the Duratec motors. Okay. One thing you should be aware of, that's a very sooty motor. By that I mean it generates a lot of carbon fouling. This will clog your EGR valve, your exhaust gas recirculation valve, and there's a sort of it's an emission control system that bleeds off some of the exhaust and injects it back in to change the combustion chamber chemistry. That pipe and the EGR valve will get clogged with carbon at about 60 to 70,000 miles. And then a little light will come on, and the code will be like E0104 or something like that. The Mazda dealership will try and sell you a new EGR valve. That's not necessary. You just take the EGR valve off, which requires removing the upper radiator hose. So that means draining the radiator. You should do that at 60,000 miles anyway. And you soak it overnight in carburetor cleaner. Put it back together, you're fine. Don't let it go too long, because otherwise your oil will become very sooty and you will start to clog up the oil circulation tubes within your engine, such as the one that operates your cam chain tensioner. Ask me how I know $7,000 later. The tensioner keeps the chain taut, and it goes slack because the oil pressure is what keeps it pressed against the chain. No oil pressure because clogged tube. Chain goes floppity, floppity, flop, beats up the timing chain gears. Timing chain gear tooth will break off and go dancing inside your cylinder head. New cylinder head.
Yeah.
Ask me how I know.
Yeah. Ford Focus, especially the early 2000s, were actually very, very good, solid cars.
They are. The Duratec, issues with the EGR are much worse in engines with the turbo, which I have the Mazda Speed 6, which has the turbo version of that. So it's just something to keep an eye on. I mean, otherwise it's a great motor. It's sooty. If you
Just be aware of that.
If you ever go to change the oil and it's black, well, there's why. So, but anyway, yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, is that a widget? I'm not quite sure what it is. The thing is that the Mazda Speed 6, with the turbo, is running 17 pounds of boost, so it's low compression, and they do enrich it a little bit to keep the keep engine knock from blowing holes in the tops of the pistons. So yeah, it will run just a touch rich.
But it's all part of the show.
It's all part of the show, folks. Yeah, Mazda Speed 6 WRX for adults. I have driven past on Highway 280 going between here and San Francisco. I was doing 90, 95, and then I realized I was passing a California Highway Patrol who was doing about 75, and I was doing 30 over, on an interstate. And he just sort of glanced over and glanced back and didn't give me another look. Why? 4-door sedan, family type sedan, no spoilers or or crap like that on it. It's the boring silver Metaflake that everybody gets. Obviously not trouble.
Yeah, well, and obviously it looks like a car you aren't obligated to have a nose piercing to have to drive it. I heard about the Volkswagen R32. It was the car designed for people who want a performance vehicle and don't want a nose piercing. It's like, oh.
Indeed. But yeah, the Mazda Speed 6 was nice. Frankly, my biggest complaint with it is not the car. It's the repair shop I took it to. They have two shops, and they say, and their A shop, the one that the owner spends all his time at, is great.
That's one I went to.
Right, the one right next to where he used to live. The shop in downtown Los Altos, I swear it's everyone there used to work as a baggage handler in the Denver International Airport. They managed to damage my air conditioning, and I've still got the Mazda Speed 6 sitting in my driveway, but the turbo never comes on. The wastegate is always open, so it's always in limbo mode. I don't know what the hell they did. Need to get it fixed one of these days, but yeah, it's all full-time four-wheel sporting drive. It's great. Handles like a dream. Again, it's a real sleeper. 280 foot-pounds of torque, 280 horsepower. Not bad. Yeah, anyone want to buy a Mazda? I'll sell it to you cheap. Yeah, Widget. The problem may be the Mazda Speed 6 really wants 93 octane gas. You can't get 93 octane gas in California. It's 91 because we're special snowflakes, so we have our own formulation. So you get 91 octane, and so the engine detects the knock, and so it enriches the mixture probably too much to counteract that. But again, 17 pounds of boost from a factory turbo is quite a bit. No, the motor in it's actually a Ford motor. It's the Duratec, 2.3 to 3 liter inline 4. There's the current generation of Mustang has one available engine. It's the 2.5 liter inline 4 with an intercooler and a turbo, and it's getting 305 horsepower. Not bad for a four-banger, but come on, you're buying a Mustang. Why would you put a four-banger in it?
Yeah, well,
that's just wrong.
Well, I have learned recently that I know Sylvan, while he just recently bought a 2018 Jeep Rubicon, also is if he could have a dream car, it'd be a 1993 Nissan R32 Skyline.
Yeah, nice car.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true, Widget. Although the 2018 Mustang, they have something very interesting in it. I mean, they've upped the horsepower from 420 to 460. Okay, that's nice. What's special is that 10-speed automatic.
Yes.
Which they co-developed with Mercedes.
And apparently it is.
Oh, it's magic.
Yeah, and it's built like a boat anchor. It's a good, solid transmission.
Yeah, you could take the motor to 800, 1,000 horsepower and not break the tranny.
Well, it's something they're going to be using in some of like their E-Series and everything like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, again, they co-developed it there.
Yeah.
And say the just absolute bone stock Mustang GT with doesn't have a track package or anything like that. It's as it comes. 3.9 seconds 0 to 60, sub 12 second quarter miles.
Yeah, I mean
holy crap!
It's more than enough car for me to get in trouble with. I would take the money and spend it on more tires and going to a driving school and getting some more handling experience at higher speeds.
Indeed. Yeah, I said that, of course, the other nice thing is that, you know, it's a V8 you can get for $35,000 new, which, you know, $35,000 is a lot of money, but it also happens to be just about the average sale price of a new car. So you could have a V8 that still manages to squeak out 30 miles a gallon if you drive it nicely. And again, that will at least give the Ferraris a run for their money. You know, again, the Ferraris are faster and all that stuff, but they cost 10 times as much. So yeah, of course, if you want to go faster, you go buy yourself a Ford Racing Stage 2 supercharger kit, take it up to 700 horsepower, and go. Then it's like, oh, come here, little Ferrari. Let me show you something about horses.
Yeah, I was watching a video on this guy who brought an R32 into the States, and one thing I didn't realize is the Skylines are all-wheel drive, and it's like, oh, so that's how you're making 700 horsepower connect and actually stay on the road, because there's actually a thing you can push a little switch and you'll turn off the front wheels. For drives. So that way, if you wish to basically support the tire industry by doing insane burnouts, you can do them all day long, and the Nissan will be more than happy to spend your bank account in the way of form of tire rubber.
Yeah, so yeah, on the thermal management issues on that, it's like 300 horsepower for about 2 minutes. But the thing is, in the real world, you know, where are you going to be doing 100% horsepower output for 2 minutes? It's not a track car.
Nope.
It's a car for, you know, for on-ramp heroics.
71 Buick Skylark. The GSX's.
Darth Vader's car.
Are we talking about? Oh, well, no, that would either be.
Well, that was the SS.
Yeah, that either be the 97 to 99 Chevy Impala SS, or the 1986 Buick Grand National GNX, probably.
Yeah.
Which I had a roommate, my first roommate, who had a Buick Regal Turbo, which was basically the Grand National, except it had the your grandma's finish to it, and interior with the horrible faux crushed velour, which picked up every bit of dirt known to man.
It was an 87 model year. You could buy it in 86, so you're both right.
And it was, man, was that thing a screamer.
Yeah.
There was one time when he had to go back to Pennsylvania, see his folks, and he had his car in the shop. He says, okay, I'm going to have you pick it up. I've already paid for it and everything. I said, all right. He says, you're allowed to drive it. All right. I want to see rubber tread on my back tires when I come back, and if you use up the gas, you replace the gas. Oh, okay.
Yes, sir.
I can work with this. And
on-ramp heroics. Basically showing off when you're going into traffic.
Yeah.
I have an accelerometer on. It says part of it's the GT Premium. You know, part of the premium packages, and and it shows 1.1 Gs before it starts to break loose. So, of course, I have slightly wider than normal rear tires. I'm running 275s in the back. Stock is 235s. You know, again, it's a 2014. You know, so last year of the solid rear axle. Yeah, it's a solid rear axle. You can feel it. So what? It's fun. It's a convertible. It's for cruising. It's not a track car.
And I'm sorry.
I'll still embarrass people in it.
Yeah, and when we were going through Yosemite, it was actually kind of nice because you could really tell what that car was doing on the back end.
Well, yeah. Yeah, well, and of course, you know, the cool thing is that, okay, there's, going over Yosemite National Park, Tioga Pass. It's a 10,000-foot pass, literally. It's like 9,945 feet.
And change.
Yeah. You know, it's the highest pass in the Sierras, and it's like the second highest, you know, paved pass in, let's say, in the United States. I think number one is like a 10,000-foot pass in Colorado. But but yeah, the car didn't run out of breath, not even close. Of course,
I did.
Yeah. Yeah, because of course in Yosemite they have a 25-mile-an-hour speed limit, and they mean it. Mostly because people are gawking at looking at all the pretty, and then they slam into the car in front of them. But yeah, it's we need to go again.
Yeah, that really surprised me. At 10,000 feet, there was negligible amount of deterioration of performance in the car. It was like, okay, I remember as a kid going with my dad to Utah and us going over the the Sierras and everything, and his Gran Torino would just start chugging at about 7,000.
Yep. Exactly, Widget. Widget. There's a kind. So there's a kind of airplane mode.
Boost.
Yeah, boost. Yeah.
Midnight Blaze. Have you been here before?
I think we've seen Midnight
Okay,
before.
yeah,
But
yeah.
either welcome or welcome back.
Yes.
Pick your favorite. Yeah. But there's a type of turbo used in like general aviation aircraft, Cessnas, called a normalizing turbo. Just enough boost to keep the same, manifold pressure as at sea level. At arbitrary altitudes up to 18,000 feet, where you're into airliner space. It's called Class A airspace. And say if you had 260 horsepower at sea level, you have 260 horsepower at at 18,000 feet. Now there's other issues that come into play, like difference between indicated airspeed and true airspeed and flutter. And I'm a pilot.
By the way, by the way, Kara, I'm noticing we still seem to be having an issue where it's like the camera is cutting off like this part of the picture here, at least from my view.
Looking here, it's like, well, looks like.
Okay, maybe my camera view just looks like I'm getting.
No, you need to scroll your browser.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Ignore me. I just
Stick 2 fingers in it and wiggle it up and down.
Okay.
You gotta push over there, and you gotta squeeze over there, and because you're not seeing your.
There we are.
You go, and then click, and then 2 fingers.
There. Do a reload.
Oh, there you go. Oh, that works too.
There we go. All right, I just wanted to make sure that they weren't okay. All right, I just want to make sure that they out there are actually seeing like this is a really great picture. I wish we could see it. Half of it's off the camera.
Yeah, watch your language. This is English. What's yours?
This is really entertaining. Not.
You stick 2 fingers in, and then you.
Yes, Mr. Yoe. Stick 2 fingers in and wiggle it up and down. Bettina started giggling in my head.
Yeah. Yeah, and picture looking good to me. Yeah. Oh, Shazbot. Yeah. Nanu.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually live about a mile from the airport that I fly out of. It's a little regional one called Reed Hillview. Uh-oh, Mighty Muffins. Got a new one. So, what would you guys consider the most useless talent that I have? Like being able to being able to quote word for word every line in 90s Disney and Pixar movies. I can keep up with the great Wackaroti belch for belch. I'm not going to do that to you guys. It's disgusting, but I can do it.
I have an unhealthy enjoyment out of eating Little Susie's Swiss rolls.
The little Debbie peanut butter bars.
No, the ones that they're like the ho-hos. They're the curled chocolate sponge cake with the what they call cream filling. It's like some kind of fat-based caulking material with vinyl chocolate over it. The Swiss will disavow any association of this with their delicacy. I just love those things.
Yeah, I can do the hurley. Yeah, do the curly.
I'm hearing fireworks going outside. Where are you, Orca? Because you're not going to be hearing any fireworks around here. It's too wet. We're finally having a winter.
Oh my God! Your cat's paw is channeling the banana splits.
Yep. There you go. There's a worthless talent.
1 banana, 2 bananas,
I
3
remember
banana, 4 bananas make a bunch and do so many more. Tra la 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 la. Tra la 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 la.
Yeah, I remember the banana splits.
Uh-oh, Django. Marshall, Will, and Holly on a routine expedition met the greatest earthquake ever known.
Yep. Yep. All of them.
Sid and Marty Krofft, who are always so freaking high when they came up with shows.
Baked.
HR Puffin Stuff.
Yep.
He's your friend when things get rough. HR Puffin Stuff. You can't do a little and you can't do enough.
Yep.
And you may have noticed that the character of HR Puffin Stuff had bloodshot eyes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Can't do a little and can't do enough.
On the other hand, they put out Electro Woman and Dyna Girl, which so many people that I know who are female and like females,
Role models?
that was one of the that was just one of the first. It's a show for us.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, You know, that's what Sid and Marty Krofft had in mind. It's like, you know, let's do something for the, you know, same-sex oriented ladies. You know, and to have this, you know, and it's, again, it was a cheesy show, but you know, it was something positive. You know, a little tiny sparkle of light. Sparkle.
And sometimes that's all you need to give you, you know, the keep on going.
Like that sound what horses make with their mouth when they sound bothered. Yeah.
I won't be able to get this one finished because there's 2 figures and there's a lot of shading, but I wanted to get this in place for folks.
Yeah. Sid and Marty Krofft ruined so many of us for the better. They had like an amusement park, I think in Atlanta. They had like a giant pinball machine where you were the pinball. I so wanted to ride that and throw up in it.
Yeah, I imagine that the guys, the attendants who had to run that thing. It's like, oh, it's
Lidsville.
Lidsville. Yes, Lidsville. Yes, generic.
Yeah. Oh, Sid and Marty Krofft. Oh, God, we love you. Uh-oh. Excuse me for a second. I'm going to unjack for a second here.
Wait,
take that how you
are those what I think they are?
They are exactly what you think they are.
Oh, he is evil.
The thing is that I'm going to have to do this way because your hands will get greasy otherwise. This is Guinness battered
onion rings.
Onion rings.
Oh. So good. Yes. Oh yeah. No.
Now your fingers are greasy.
Oh wow. That's what apparently they're for.
Yeah. If a God had wanted us to have clean hands, he'd have given us hairier thighs.
Yes. Hey Octavia. Onion rings. Awesome.
It's a homemade Guinness beer battered onion rings. Sandwich.
Hey Artix. I'll get back to drawing in just a moment, really, honestly. I'll sit inside.
One more, there's a little one right next to you.
All right, hang on a second. Oh, there we go. Okay, I'm done. People didn't come here to watch me eat.
Well, maybe Mighty Muffin.
At that point, we should probably do our duty. Our hourly duty.
University art. Yes. Yeah. Listen to all the sounds of Michael Choo Choo Choo. All righty. In addition to thanking Brian for going so far out of his way to make Guinness beer battered onion rings for us, thank you, Brian. I'm going to go here, and we're also going to say thank you to Diversity Art for keeping Barron supplied with art supplies. Because University Art is a high-end art supply and framing shop with outlets in San Jose, Redwood City, and Sacramento, California. They have excellent sales staff who are not on commission, who are artists themselves, so they will sell you the right thing, not the expensive thing. They also have seminars and workshops and demonstrations and craft fairs and all kinds of good stuff. It's not just an art supply store, it is a community.
And next stream, I will be able to give folks the date for the You Create Day.
Hey, I see myself over there. Have I been in the background all this time? Maybe you just see me with the nose, you know. Okay. Yeah, when I had to reinstall all the drivers, so that reset everything to, say, to normal. So guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to just zoom in your face so they don't have to see my ugly mug. Where the hell am I? So anyway, thank you to University Art.
No, Rivercoon, we were very, very careful about that. Also, of which I need to get you some color thumbnails in the near future for your project.
All right, let's see. Where is it? Here we go. Drawing camera. There we go. Face cam. Yay, face cam.
Yeah.
Properties, configure video.
But you're absolutely right, Rivercoon. Don't get grease on the picture.
Sweet.
But he is a firm believer in lubricant, but not that type.
There we go. Actually, I'll zoom back out slightly. Too close. There we go. Okay, fine. Save. Okay. I will re-aim that in just a second here. I will jack out again.
Are you playing with the camera?
I am playing with the camera.
Alrighty. Hi, folks.
There you go.
Here we see the artist in his natural environment.
In his unnatural environment. There we go. Hey, you can just barely see the overhead cam. Because you guys are using that to look at that. Good night, widget.
Yep.
Thank
Glad you
for-
can make it. Hope you can see you on the 28th, which will be a Wednesday night stream.
This is not our normal time.
But it's because the regular time we'll be in the middle of BabsCon, but we're going to have Clear Skies, the creator of the Roan RPG, out, and we're going to be doing a stream about Roan. I'll be doing Roan-related art, and he'll be here. If you guys have been playing the game and have any questions about Roan,
Yep.
he'll be here to answer it.
Yes, Thibaut, it is structural. You just realize a patina's pompadour retains its shape even underwater. It's magic.
Yep. Now it'll flop down some when she comes out of the water and everything like that. But yeah, it's amazing. Has amazing properties to it.
Yeah, Mr. Muffins, we actually had some hail today, which is very unusual for the Bay Area.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but again, if you folks want to keep up with Baron's streaming schedule, follow him on Twitter. He doesn't spam people too much, you know. So but he will let you know when, or better yet, do a follow here on Picardo, and you'll get an email.
Yes.
When when we go live, and we always have that half-hour pre-show. You know, both to give chance for the emails to go out and remind you folks. It also sets the mood, and it also gives me a chance to
do a shakedown.
Yeah, exactly. If we're having problems with the internet connection, which we usually don't, or technical problems, it gives me half an hour to very quickly panic and then put everything back together.
Yep. And I usually make an announcement on Wednesday on Twitter. I also make an announcement on Wednesday on DeviantArt and my Patreon. So those are, if you're following me, if you're like a patron, or if you are like on DeviantArt or on Twitter, you'll be announced. Also, I'm doing certain things on my Twitter, like my Baron's Art Tips. When I'm working on a picture, I'll quite often, when I get to some part of the picture, I think, hey, wait a minute, people might like this little detail about how I'm doing a picture. I'll put up like little short, 280 character art lessons.
I'm going to use a keyboard that has 88 keys instead of 104.
Huh. It's not art until someone loses an ear.
It's art because I say it is. As Salvador Dali once put it.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Dali. Well, hello, Dali. That's not my normal piano sound. That is.
This is not my beautiful house. This is not my beautiful wife.
can ask yourself, why do I even have my headphones on? You can ask yourself, do they hate us because they play that stuff? You can ask yourself, what the hell's wrong with Cardoon anyway?
I think that's what the Zoomy is trying to figure out.
Yeah. Those small keyboards, it's better to get a regular one to get silent switches. Well, there are some people that make very compact gaming keyboards with whatever switch types you like, but they're really expensive.
What's my particularly favorite art tool to use? Has to be the mechanical pencil. That's probably my default to. This would probably be my all-purpose one. I have to admit, Larsus, I don't know if Lars is in the chat tonight or not.
Let me see.
But he got me this one for Christmas, and this is an awesome pencil.
Oh, yes, the pencil porn.
Yeah. This was a pencil that we used to carry at University Art, and I used to sell it to people, and I used to like get to demo it and then show it off, and then I had to put it back in the case because I could never afford one of these things. I got one for Christmas. This one, though, has been a beauty. I've had this one for over a decade. It's a Kono Rapidamatic. Found this one in the parking lot at University Arts. Someone dropped it and never came back to pick it up. So I've had it. If it wasn't that a favorite tool that I had purchased, it would have to be actually my old MDF board, drawing board that I have at home that my dad made me in 1970 that I still have. That or the old Landnickel Sunburst sable brush that I've used on almost every color piece I've ever done, and it's 60 plus years old.
Mighty Muffins, that would be Toccata and Fugue in D minor. At least parts of it. Yep, Catspaw. For this one, I'm using 2B. For this one, I have HB lead in it. I use this for some of my layout and some of my lighter shading work because I can press harder and not have to worry about. Also, too, the heavier weight of this makes it with harder lead easier to go across and do shading lines and get nice, even, consistent effects with it. So use the right tool for the job. In a push, though, I can use this thing and just get by with all of it. It just I have to work a little bit harder. Did you say cathedral organ, K-Fox? The rest of you, this is your chance to take off your headphones now.
Like Colonel Yu dons cape and mask. Oh.
Unusual angle for me. So there. Reminds me of Captain Nemo, Disney's 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Yeah. For me, it's Rollerball.
Yeah.
It's the opening theme to Rollerball. Wait, actually, that music's 450 years old. Oh. So.
Well, that was kind of like 2001. It was only years later I found. Oh, I mean, that wasn't done for. No, it wasn't. Oh.
So, Mr. Yowie, the Roan RPG game is done.
Yeah.
You can go buy you some. It's been
Oh,
actually
yeah.
out for a year and a half, 2 years now. They're working on a supplement called Roan World at War,
Yeah.
or World War Roan.
No,
but
Run a World at War.
Yeah, but the base game, I mean, you can get it in PDF form from Drive-Thru RPG, you know.
Or you can order it on the rule book. And like I say, if you're going to be at BabsCon, we're going to have copies.
Is it actually a generic? Not really. I'm just a little bit because of eating so many onion rings so suddenly. Time to suit up for rollerball. Jonathan! Yeah, a little bit of trivia. James Caan did all of his own skating in rollerball. And almost all of his own stunts. So, yeah.
Well, he was from that Steve McQueen era when, it was very common, we'll do my stunts.
For years, I thought it was 20,000 leaks under the sea.
That's an awful lot of onions.
Yeah. Steve McQueen is Bullet. They just found the original.
They found one that they found.
No, they found both.
Yeah, they found both, but they found the one camera was a driver for a while, for years. The guy bought it.
Yeah, they found the jump car down in a scrapyard in Mexico. But then they found the the one that was actually driven by McQueen. In all of the. All of the non-destructive scenes, and so some guy was just driving it as his daily driver.
Yeah, it still had the holes in it for the camera mounts.
Yeah.
And for the time period, they actually did some very interesting camera work. That was very complicated for them to do at the time, to get some of those camera shots.
Yeah, hey, Kitty. For those of you who have not seen the original Rollerball, I mean, the remake was just, it's like Highlander 2. It didn't happen. The original Rollerball is a very, very thoughtful, by modern standards, kind of slow-paced dystopian science fiction film. Like a lot of 1970s science fiction was. It's moody. It's almost ethereal in some ways, and again, it examines the role of blood sport in society, and it's just magnificent. It's one of my favorite films. Also,
the concept of the individual.
Yeah,
and maintaining identity in a culture.
Yeah, and the basic premise is that governments all around the world were failing. They were getting people into wars. The corporations said this is not good for business, and basically took over. So corporate executives explicitly run the world, and everybody has. What they need, etc. But all the decision making is in the hands of executives. But for people's violent outlet, they have the game of rollerball, an incredibly bloody, occasionally deadly. It's like roller derby with orcs.
Yeah, good description.
Yeah, and again, it's a magnificent film. I highest possible recommendation.
Kitty, is this your first time here?
I think we've seen Kitty a couple of times.
Okay, if it is, if you have been here, welcome back. If this is your first time here, welcome to the stream.
Either way, it works for us.
Well, we're going to go
hello, Francis.
We're going to be going to a break in just 3 minutes. We'll go for a 5-minute break.
Say poor old Francis. He just got here. Hi, Francis. Welcome.
Yeah. Don't go away, Francis. We'll be coming back, and I said we'll be taking a 5-minute break. Get up and stretch and everything. Come back, and I'll be working on more art. We're doing this till 9:30 tonight.
Yeah. So we're not even halfway done.
Nope.
Yeah. It turns out he was watching on for Affinity already. Well, there you go. Yeah. So I also see Misapathy. So to which we say, hello, Proto, welcome, welcome, welcome. Who else here is new? Say hi, MC4E84. Have you been here before 84? If so, welcome. If not, say welcome anyway.
You're all welcome.
Baron is the guy drawing. I'm the guy, doing things here. So, yeah. Orcs. Paint it red, it go faster. Yeah.
Does that include your skaters?
Pretty much, yeah. Like I said, in Warhammer 40K, You know, orcs are a mildly psionic race, and if they collectively believe that a ship made out of plywood is airtight, you know, and good for space, it is. And if they collectively believe that painting it red makes it go faster, it does. Which means it costs 5 points more.
Mm-hmm.
Mortaka. Yes.
Mortaka. All right.
Have you seen the movie for Baby Driver? Not yet.
I want to see it. I understand it. It's a movie that kind of redefines like how Bolt kind of defined the chase scene. It kind of does it for a new generation, and it has a wonderful explanation why there's a kicking soundtrack. And so I definitely want to see it at some point.
Unza, 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 unza.
Okay, I will shade Chandra when I get home, but I have to shade her along with the suit. She's all dark colors.
You have to get out your heavy-duty pencil. You know?
No, I'll do with this. It's going to take time. I had a choice. I could get more of Patina done, or I could kind of get her done. I'll get Patina done because Patina likes being done, getting done. That's just Patina.
Patina meets Zigzag.
Oh,
those two would understand
each other. Oh yes,
and it would be on film.
Yeah. Yep.
Yes.
Because there's no reason why they shouldn't make some money in the process.
Skavin out of love, yes. Yeah.
Okay, it's 7:29. Why don't we switch cameras here? All right. Okay. So as I said, we're gonna take a 5-minute break, and then we'll be back, and then I'm gonna start on another piece of work.
Absolutely. All right, so folks have just arrived. Go, hey, Ari.
Yeah.
Say, folks have just arrived. We'll be back in 5. Go be biological because that's good for you. And speaking of good for you, so are intermissions.
Yep. And we're back.
Yeah.
Yes. House Castle. That's that cheese.
Okay, excellent.
Yes.
Excellent.
And I need to get some of that. That is the bomb. Good. And Copper Cheetah.
Speaking of.
Excellent. Because Copper Cheetah, I want to talk to you back and forth here through the chat if possible. You had asked for your basically $100 pledge piece. If I could do your character Justina, the cheetah who runs the bike shop, but also is into kickboxing. And doing a motorcycle along with the character, that'd be a little bit more than would fit under the terms of the thing. But you said she was into kickboxing. Is she into a particular type of kickboxing?
Savat, capoeira.
Right.
While you're thinking about that.
Bloop.
Slant. Sure thing. There we go.
Excellent.
Fuel administered.
Exactly.
It's art fuel.
So we're waiting for Copper Cheetah to get back to us.
I see you right there. You can't deny that you're here.
Yeah, you were chiming in the chat there, Copper.
Y'all in a heap of trouble, boy.
Raw Green had one last Pabst in blue in the fridge.
Yeah. Slam dunk. Yeah. Well, again, that's the lighting. Let me see. Let me see if I can.
Okay.
Red.
So, okay, what's up? Does she have short hair or long hair? I'm envisioning her kind of having a short hair, very, very, taut build, not a whole lot of, she's not going to be very bouncy, I get the impression.
Let me see what happens if I click on this. It needs a little bit more exposure.
Well, there's only one way to take those things, Foxfire. You got to take it all at once.
How about we go from here?
You things about
Ooh, that's too much. Oh, that's about right. My shiny fork. Yeah. There's a slider called white balance. It's like okay, aren't we past this? There we go. Say, isn't this 2018? Aren't we past that? What?
And I'm waiting for Copper Cheetah. He's going to throw some up unique things about Justy.
Tell us about Justy.
Yes, tell us.
Tell us all. Okay, here we go. Okay, it's still a little red. Yeah, actually I have another.
Shoulder length hair, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Straight hair or kind of wavy? Actually, I can start getting set now at this point.
Yeah. White balance, 110%.
All right, let me switch cameras here. Let me switch glasses. Switching glasses, switching cameras.
Now you can't see me guzzling down my Baileys.
Okay. K1 style kickboxing. So, boop, 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 boop. All right. Slightly wavy. Okay. I was figuring probably a relatively slight build. Not, like I say, not, anything kind of buttsy or anything like that. All right.
Mr. Irrelevant, I have a hard time believing you have our best interests at heart, but you certainly have entertainment at heart, so I approve.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, they do a Boilermaker with Coke and Mentos. You know, well, that'll work.
It'll be entertaining for everyone else to watch. All right, that gives me some ideas here. All right. Yeah, Zumi, he'll sit down, the cat's ball will sit down, he'll chew through some math when he needs to. Yeah, Diet Cokes, we get the exciting stuff. As Mythbusters taught us.
Okay, it's low-calorie rocketry.
One question, Copper, is she digigrade or plantigrade? Yeah, slim stretch. Okay, that's what I imagine. She's plantigrade. Okay, excellent. Thank you. It is nice not having a lot of lag tonight when you're doing things like this.
Buy this guitar so that I won't have it here to make horrible sounds with. It deserves a much better home. Said I am no expert on electric guitars, but I can tell you it's got a great feel to it.
The fit and finish is first class.
It is. It is. This is something. It's a reproduction of Rainbow Dash's guitar from one of the Equestria girls.
Oh, Toys R Us stories. Okay.
World's biggest toy store.
I can tell you
Not anymore.
I can tell you an indirect Toys R Us story, and I'm gonna right now because sometimes he lurks in the thing. Jeff Bramschweiber, if you're in the chat, chime in, because Jeff Bramschweiber, the assistant manager of the San Jose University Art,
who has been a guest on the show doing accurate Egyptian tomb art with period materials and techniques.
Who will hopefully be back again this year. He was the manager of the Sunnyvale Toys R Us, and if you go do a Google search, especially on anything paranormal and Sunnyvale, California Toys R Us, it will come up. It is one of these places that's notorious for supposedly being haunted. And Jeff has stories about, we don't know what happened. He won't say, yeah, it was a ghost, but I have no explanation on how something happened. And we have security camera footage, and we would get weird things would happen to security cameras. And then we'd come back and go, hey, what else would move? But nothing else went off. None of the alarms, none of the other things would trip. He says, but we'd come in the morning and things were not how we left them the night before.
Actually, Kay, yeah, Jeff is very well known to the Rosicrucian Museum.
Yes, he is.
He's also, it turns out that he was the president of the board of trustees of the Triton Museum.
Yeah, and he still is on the board.
Yeah.
And he teaches at the Triton Museum. He's taught at the Rosicrucian Museum. Like me, he's done professional work too.
Yeah. Yeah, so I visited the Rosicrucian Museum once, and I want to visit it again.
If you're ever up for a trip, I'd be glad to make another go over.
Yeah, what the hell are you doing tomorrow?
Tomorrow I'm working.
Okay. This is work.
Yeah, but this is work. This is people paid me money work. That whole thing we talked about, when you're taking commissions,
Yeah.
you're taking someone's money, you're in debt. Well, I got to take care of my debt.
Yeah, okay, got to burn off some of that, some of that accumulated debt.
Exactly.
And we'll talk later.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, the interesting thing, what I remember about Rosicrucian Museum, the one thing that stuck out to me. I mean, yeah, they had mummies and stuff like that there, and it's not just Egyptian stuff. It's just generically that entire part of the world. Basically start with Zoroaster and go forward. They had a bunch of artifacts, and one of them was a cuneiform tablet, which, supposedly they have the provenance on it, was written by King Daniel. By his own hand. And the one that was thrown into the den of the lions. And
Hi, Time Lord.
Hey, Time Lord. And as proof of his divinity, he came out unetten and later on became king of Israel, and that kind of thing. Now, my beliefs don't go that way anymore, but I was raised a Christian, and that was my favorite Bible story. And it's like, oh, wait, Daniel was a real person, and again, my religion is science, but still there was that little thrill of
connection.
Yeah, it's like this. Well, there was no question, that most of the historical figures, in the Bible actually existed. It's like, oh, this was the guy from my favorite story, and he made this. It was just this little moment of, this is so cool. So yeah, I want to go back and see everything they have now.
They've done a whole lot of stuff. One of the things I'd like to see, when I saw it when they first had installed it, but it really wasn't that impressive because they had just installed it. They went through and they planted a garden down there, which is supposed to have a bunch of the plants and everything that were common in ancient Egypt and used in ancient Egypt, and they have it on display. You can go walk and wander through the garden and everything.
Yeah, the Rosicrucian Museum. The thing about the Rosicrucians, it's a scholarly and religious order. Basically, it's people who still practice the ancient religions and mean it. So there are practicing Zoroastrianism, Zoroastrians, which was the progenitor of Judaism and other, most of the other religions in that area. I think it was the first monotheistic religion that was, at least that's recorded. And again, there's, folks who practice, some of the Egyptian, religions, et cetera, and mean it. There is a brewery in San Francisco called Artstream. And back in the early 80s, a tablet was found in the old city of Ur, which is in Iraq, and it had the oldest recorded recipe, and it was a recipe for beer. 6,500 years old.
And the important thing about beer is you did that because that was the way you could drink the water. Sure, you could drink the water; it was safe.
Well, the thing is,
that was one of its uses.
The thing is that well, particularly in England, but because that place was nasty. But beer was considered to, when you got drunk, you were in touch with the gods. And the goddess of breweries and brewing was Inanna. She was a goddess of brewing, happiness, fertility, and the liver, because the Babylonians believed that the liver was the seat of consciousness. And the recipe it's half recipe and half religious rite. So you grind the grain, and then and then you bow to the heavens, and then you soak it in water, and you chant over it as you do, and then you set it out and you offer this prayer. And so Artstream decided they were going to reproduce the recipe, because they had also just found this one bakery in Egypt that had been operating as a bakery continuously since the days of the Old Kingdom. And they'd taken a couple of bricks from the original wall, and they had found live yeast inside. And so they cultured them, because brewing yeast is all yeast from They would start off as wild geese in the Mideast. And so what they did was they said they got together the period materials and all that, and said, okay, we've transcribed the recipe part.
That's also correct, generic.
Yeah.
To some degree.
Yeah. So they said, we're going to do this right. So they called the Rosicrucian Museum, down here in San Jose, and they said, hey, you heard about this, this artifact that was found? I was like, yeah, we follow that stuff pretty closely. Isn't that cool? So yeah, we're going to brew up a batch. Oh, isn't that great? He says, yeah, but the recipe calls for a Zoroastrian priest to come and to do certain rituals. Do you have any practicing Zoroastrian priests? They go, oh, you called the right people. So they sent someone over, a practicing Zoroastrian priest who performed the rituals and the rites as specified by the recipe / religious ritual. And they bottled it and sold, it was Inanna beer. It was a flat beer, because carbonation, wasn't really a thing then. And it was based not upon hops and barley, but upon bread. The type of bread called bapir. It's a twice-baked bread. It's made with barley and dates and honey. And it's twice baked, so it becomes very, very dry, and you can store it for a long time.
And the honey will preserve it.
Right. And so what you do is you soak the bread in water, and then and then you prepare beer from that. It's kind of like an alcoholic kvass. And that was the first beer whose recipe is recorded. They did. I tasted it. It was sweet. It wasn't bad. It wasn't what we would call beer. But hey, gave me a buzz.
Yeah. But actually, go back to Generic's thing about using up grain and a way of storing it. That's only true, really, Generic, if you have hops or some kind of preservative to it, and then some way of actually, keeping the beer afterwards. Elsewise, there was what they used to refer to as small beer and old beer, or strong beer was another term for it. And small beer was beer that was brewed and meant to be consumed within a month or so.
Ales.
Yeah, a lot of ales. And then strong or old was stuff that had like hops or coriander or other types of preservatives. And those would keep longer. But there was real limitations until you got to the 19th century, really, on how long you can keep beer. J. Townsend and Sons has some excellent videos about brewing in the 18th century, and you can kind of extrapolate back from there.
It comes in pints?
Yes. Yep, small beer.
Yeah, similar to new wine, which is fresh grape juice. Yeah, what's the French? Beaujolais Nouveau.
Beaujolais Nouveau.
Yeah, which
the
is
freshest wine you can drink in the year.
Yeah, and again, they had to pass a law to allow FedEx to ship internationally, with FedEx's solemn promise that they would not release any of this until after midnight on such and such a day.
Yep.
Because the date that you can consume Beaujolais Nouveau is controlled by Parliament. France takes its wines seriously. Oh yes, they do.
Yep. So Copper Cheetah, as I'm working on this, if I'm getting anything wrong, please chime in. This is your piece of artwork.
Yeah. James Townsend, yeah, Shauna has it right.
What's that?
James Townsend, she has the abbreviation correct.
Yes. J. Townsend is a wonderful
cooking channel.
Yeah, it's a wonderful cooking channel. It's also kind of just amusing because it's like watching, yeah, this is like some of the stuff that I'm consuming in my Equestria dreamscape. As far as food and styles of cooking and everything like that, because it's right at that cusp when you're moving into some of the more mass-produced food types.
Yeah. Oh, Sonny, we can get Cheerwine out here. Beverages and More carries it.
Yeah.
Oh, The Dragon and the George.
Yep. That was a good novel.
Disney made it into a movie.
Yes, they did. Yeah. Which was kind of interesting because there was also the one where they mashed. There was an anime made for TV called Fly the Dragons, where they took the Dragon and the George and Fly the Dragons and mashed it together. I'm going, I know part of this plot. This is from the Dragon and the George.
James Townsend is where he gets some of your. Bromberg gets his reenactment gear from.
So you do period reenactment? Cool.
Nice.
Yeah, I have to admit, every time I watch Jay Townsend, it makes me want to go back to Williamsburg and some of those other places that he's...
do a history vacation.
Yes, exactly.
I see a new person. Hi, Nard
I
Dog.
guess you're right. She does have a sports bra. Yep. Yeah, let me know about the gloves.
MMA style gloves. Yeah, basically those are fingerless gloves and thumbless gloves there that have open palms and heavy padding on the knuckles.
Because I was looking at some of the K1 reference and they were showing people wearing more like boxing type gloves. So if that's wrong, let me know and I'll change it.
Because there's a lot of grappling that goes on in MMA.
Yeah, but this is K1, which may not be. I'm not knowledgeable enough to know whether that's the same as MMA or not.
The fingers are exposed, the fists are padded.
Okay, fingers exposed. Okay, thank you very much.
Yep. Yeah, the Hitler channel. That was History Channel before it became the UFO channel.
Yep.
And James Earl Jones as the evil wizard Umadon.
Yes. Okay.
James Earl Jones said it. I believe it. That settles it. My mom loved James Earl Jones.
You got him the Bible.
I got early. James Earl Jones did a full reading, on CDs of the Bible. My mom was quite religious, and I got her that for Christmas one day. It's 1 year. The James Earl Jones reading, and she just played the heck out of those.
But I didn't remember you said you can get religion with this.
Yeah, well, that is the purpose. Isn't
Yeah.
it? That's the general idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does what it says on the tin.
Yep. The fact that the French people refuse to let other companies call their sparkling wine champagne. Well, it's a regional thing.
Yeah.
The champagne is a portion of France. Cognac is a portion of France.
Well, Burgundy.
Burgundy, yeah, exactly. So they say, look, we don't want people counterfeiting it.
Yeah. Well, also too, especially back when before there was a lot of quality control and consumer protection laws, that was your consumer protection. It's like, hey, look, this is from Roquefort. It's real cheese. It's real Roquefort cheese, and they're going to put their best out. They're not going to let Blackbird crap. And this is back when crap could kill you.
Yeah.
So I can kind of understand it. Also too, there's a lot of in fact, like a few years ago, there was a whole thing where Kona went to some links to try to get the name Kona for coffee, saying, look, if it's going to say Kona coffee, it has to have this much actual Kona in it, because they had seen the term Java get kind of bastardized, for lack of a better word.
Yeah, that's the island of Java.
Yeah.
So
well, any cup of coffee.
They got Xeroxed.
Yeah, exactly, or Kleenexed.
Yeah. Oh, apparently James Earl Jones is reprising his role as Mufasa in the live-action film.
Okay.
Okay, that just changed my mind from not watching it to watching it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course, James Earl Jones made an absolutely delicious villain in Conan the Barbarian as as Thulsa Doom. It's like, oh yes, ooh baby,
I was like you once.
I am the wellspring from which you flow.
Yes.
Who is your father if it is not me?
Mm-hmm.
When I am gone, you will have never been.
Yep.
My son. Ooh, I need a Kleenex. Yeah.
Assuming you did brew your own. Actually, we did brew beer at one point.
Yeah, well, so I've actually did quite a bit of home brewing. My beers were never good. Part of the reason is that when I was doing my home brewing, I was in Cupertino, and I finally got a water quality report, and it was good water for drinking. Had a lot of calcium in it, which is not good for beers.
Nope, not soft waters.
With the exception of Newcastle style, Burton-on-Trent beers, like a Newcastle Brown, because the Trent has a lot of calcium dissolved in it, but it's good for wine, and it's good for mead. And I got into making
good meads.
I got to making fruit meads, with honey and fruit, and I made some really. I will just say it. I made some kick-ass meads.
Yeah. Once you have actually, one of the things that's cool about trying home brewing and stuff like that is, once you've done it, and for lack of a better word, have had to suffer the humility of that was a complete train wreck, you really do appreciate being able to go to a market, buy a bottle of a brand you like, and open up and go, this is very much like what I had the last time. It's very hard with food preparation to get reproducible consistency. and that's why people get paid good money to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, as far as mead sweetness today, Time Lord, there is a company called Bargetto, which makes meads which are nationally distributed. We have a local
Meadery.
meadery and cidery called, well, the cider side of it is Red Branch. The mead side is Rabbit's Foot, and coincidentally, it's this little tiny, in an industrial park type microbrewery, and coincidentally, the SCA has their meetings in their backyard area.
Yeah.
But they make, they make some very good ciders, hard ciders. They make the only tart cherry cider that I've ever tasted, and oh my God, it's good. But they also make meads.
Yeah, we need to make a pilgrimage up there again.
We do. They're open from like 3 p.m. to 7 p.m., like 4 days a week. And it's this little tiny tap room. Again, the decor is early concrete floor.
Yeah.
But there's a good crowd that shows up there. They're really friendly. It's this nice little secret place tucked away.
Okay. I need to ask. I need to chime in here. I need to get Copper Cheetah's confirmation on a couple things. One, light hair or dark hair on Justine, and two.
Good night, Agni.
Two, yeah. Good night, Agni. And the other one is I'm getting some mixed signals on the footwear. Is it kind of barefoot? Or are they wearing like savate shoes? I'd like to get clarification on that before I start putting footwear on her.
Yeah. Austin's got some good microbreweries there. Yeah.
Well, Austin's got a lot of things going for it.
That's where Dog's from.
Yep. Dark hair on Jesse. Okay. Go Bear Pod. Okay, all right, excellent. That's why I was noticing with some of the folks.
Yeah, Town Lush, yeah. Yep, Berry Punch was supposed to be the drunkard. Yeah, and we do see her, so we always see her face in the punch bowl.
Yep. Well, that's why I thought it was kind of amusing.
And for footwear, she does go Bear Pod.
Yeah. Hearts and Hooves Day when, she sticks her head out, like, just go back to sleep, Barry. The DTs will pass.
Mighty, you can get decent meads for $15 a bottle. And we're talking like a wine bottle, 750 ml. So yeah, about the same as a halfway decent wine.
Yeah.
So it's honey and water. It's not that expensive.
Well, the honey is actually the most expensive part because honey can get kind of pricey at times.
It can be. We actually there is an Ethiopian mead called Tej, Tej. That is, if there's any Ethiopian food stores anywhere near you, we have several in the Bay Area. Tej is a good sweet dessert type. It's about as strong as wine, and it's a mead, and it does a really good job of putting out the fire on some of the spicier Ethiopian foods. And I love me some Ethiopian. I'm going to go there on Monday and eat me some Ethiopian.
Yeah, one of the things that is nice, there's a lot of things about the Bay Area you may grumble about, like cost of housing and the price of this and that and the other. But one of the things that is wonderful about the Bay Area is if you want it for food, somewhere in the Bay Area there's somebody who is cooking it and making it. El Camino Real is a wonderful
international cuisine sampler.
Exists, yeah. You can just drive up and down El Camino Real and just sample all kinds of just utterly amazing food out of little mom and pop places.
Yeah. So Time Lord says that they avoided Austin proper on the way to the Ren Fair because South by Southwest was there. Well, otherwise they would have gotten some barbecue. Time Lord, have you ever been to the Salt Lick? Not the one in downtown Austin, but the one that's in Cottonwood. The one that, if you want beer, you buy it on the say in the county line. They say on the little road that says last beer. Oh, Microsoft! Why must you Microsoft?
It just
did a forced restart on the computer that has the chat.
Good, we got it over here. So yeah.
Yeah, I got it here. Yeah, I can see you guys, so it's okay. I see you on the other computer, so don't get away with anything.
Yeah. But it is very, very annoying that Microsoft will basically, no, you must. It's like,
see that lovely color?
A blue.
Yeah, that lovely. There we go. Oh, Microsoft, why must you do this now? I said to wait, you stupid freaking cow. Canada's going to kill me.
Or Microsoft.
Fortunately,
I mean, Redmond, Washington's closer to them than...
well, say, Seattle is Redmond is practically Canada.
Yeah. So I mean, they can, say it was in our jurisdiction.
Yeah. Update now. Yes.
We will do the updates now, and you will love it. Oh, yes, you will.
We have for you a very large, very fat, tenacious update. Yes.
Yeah. Nard Dog, are you new? I don't remember seeing you before. If you are new, welcome. If not, welcome back.
Yep. Yeah, so Carton, not our Carton, different
Yeah.
Carton. Yeah, so I do operations, so yeah, I feel your pain. Actually, Mighty says, actually, that reminds me, how often do you guys purchase a beer or wine online? The only alcohol that I buy online is Dorda, because it's hard to get around here. That's this stuff right here.
And it's awesome.
The best chocolate liqueur on the market. Has exactly 2 ingredients, dark chocolate and just enough vodka to keep it liquid at room temperature. It's amazing.
It's incredible stuff, drizzled over vanilla ice cream or cake.
Or small mice.
Or small mice, yes. Patina would love being drizzled in Dorda.
You get her schnockered real quick.
Yeah.
Now,
But at least she's a happy drunk.
yeah. Now, actually, the biggest reason that I will buy beer or wine and other liquors online is so I can drop ship them to somebody else. Because there's a lot of places it's like like my favorite currently working author lives in Minnesota, and I will drop ship him. So he's a foodie too.
Well, I'm glad you're making this is Nard Dog's first time.
Oh well.
We do this every 2 weeks. We're going to be at 8:30 taking a 5-minute break. We do a 4-hour show Saturday starting at 5:30 going to 9:30 Pacific time, wherever you are. I'm sorry, you're for this Stephen Bruce, yeah, you send him
Yeah, I dropped. He's a foodie too, and I drop shipped him a couple of cases of Dorda, and he has been friendly ever since. Without sidetracking us for an hour, how goes the D&D campaign? You mean I can't sidetrack you for an hour? Well, crap.
I'm no longer guilty.
Yeah. To sum it up quickly.
Most important thing.
Someone or something tried to make. Okay, they were doing war games with the local dwarves, earning some extra money, sort of as a wild card red team, as it were. And while they were out there, one of the dwarves got killed for real, arrow in the back of the head. That arrow had been in Baron's character's quiver, and it was a very special arrow. It was one that he inherited from his father. And it's unique and absolutely tied to him. And it was in the back of the dwarf's head now. How'd that happen? And so, it's like, okay, laddie, was it an accident? What happened? I don't know. Come with us. And so off they went, and they managed to because a good thing for them that there was a local, relatively high-level priest, of one of the dwarven gods that was able to cast Zone of Truth. Did you kill him? No. Did you do you have any knowledge of how he how he could have been killed? No. Is this your arrow? Well, yes. And so
a little more in fact. I was yes.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah. And Baron played it straight. His character played it straight up, which is, again, he didn't try and hide any evidence or anything like that. And the dwarves respected him for that, even though they knew very well, it's like, he must have been scared out of his mind. Well, again, he's a 16-year-old kid away from home the first time, and dwarves chop people's heads off.
Yeah.
Or at least here they throw people off the bridge. Let's see if I can get this computer back on.
Omiya, oh boy, how to pronounce your name. I'm sorry. That plug, lol.
Shinderu.
Yes. Are you new? I don't remember seeing you before. If so, welcome to the stream.
We will call you Shinderu.
Shindero. Yeah, we can say
Shindero.
Shindero. And make it sound respectful.
Yeah.
Because we don't want to make your name sound disrespectful.
Yeah. So anyway, so while they were debating that, another dwarf showed up dead
With an arrow.
with an arrow stuck in him, with an arrow that was in another member of the party's quiver not so long ago. It was one that he had made himself, because he's a Fletcher. Except that this time they were able to find, people said, well, what about this one guy, this one dwarf? It's like, I saw him here, I saw him here at the same time. Apparently somebody is casting illusions or shape-shifting or doing something and has infiltrated the local dwarves and is killing them and trying to frame the party.
The newbies in town.
Yeah, so fortunately, these guys have figured that all out. And as the dwarves okay, we know you're not the ones behind us. We want to find the ones who are. And that's where they are right now.
Yeah.
They have some suspicions. It's an area that's overrun by Fae. And and they've been talking to a bunch of people. What tends to live around here? Talking to there's a local bard who knows a little bit about the Fae, and they said, well, what can do this? And they're sort of focusing on the possibility of a hag.
Whether that's correct or not, we don't know.
Yeah, but that's their current working theory, and so it's like, okay, what's next? We'll see in 1 week.
Yep. This next Saturday, the 24th. Stay tuned.
The coolest thing I ever did in a Pathfinder game was face a contracted devil who had a contract to a man's soul. I asked to look at it for proof, promising not to tear it up, set it on fire, or even use a disintegrate spell. The devil agreed. I never said I wouldn't use an erase spell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And now you have a friend.
Yeah.
And Copper says, good looking Baron, you just might be setting yourself up for me to spend my next commission shot for a portrait character reference. Well,
excellent.
You hear that shattering sound? That's Baron's heart.
Yeah, well, like I say, I want to make these basically for pledges, for folks who pledge $100. I want these to mean something, because, you guys, you folks who have pledged $100 combined on Patreon, that is one of the things that's keeping me, Smudge and I being able to make sure the bills get paid every month. It means rent's taken care of at the start. It means, the credit card bill is taken care of. It means that my other income coming in can take care of, like, the car loan and other expenses. And we're actually starting just beginning to be able to put some stuff away in the savings.
Oh, what a concept.
Yes, well, yeah, I'm starting to think about, we lost all that, a few years ago when our first company went during the recession. So
not so good.
Yeah.
So here we are rebooting a computer right in the middle of a live show. Thank you, Microsoft. Yeah.
Fortunately, hopefully this will not affect anything like the download.
Oh no, not at all.
Good.
Not at all. In any event, we care about upload speeds.
This is actually the first picture you've had, Weld. I'm very glad I'm doing a good job of it. I'm definitely making sure she's got some muscle in these legs so she can kick. And actually, I have seen some female kickboxers, and it's like, well, she's a scrawny little thing, and then where's all your teeth? Well, you should have put that mouthpiece in.
There we go.
Like,
I am back in. Hooray.
It was like when I was in
Are you
college.
back in yet?
College, there was one lady in one of my classes, one of my public speaking classes, and
New person, Markavi. Hello.
Welcome. And she was, I will be quite blunt, she was a looker. Not a very big thing either. And I found out later that she was actually a professional bodyguard. And she worked for some fairly high-end clients, and she was what they referred to as the looker. And she dressed and kind of stayed very, very close to her client, and kind of looked like the boy, the girlfriend, or whatever you wanted to call her, for the evening. And then there was two other guys who would be signed, who were the obvious high, dark sunglasses, dark suits, maybe a wire in our ear type characters, moved around like Terminators. And the idea was that quite often people who would be causing trouble would target on the guys in the suits, and they would not pay attention to her. And she specialized in all holds and pressure points. But she did know some kickboxing. And it was interesting because she had to practice in high heels because that's what quite often she wore when she was with her clients. So it's like I have to practice in what I'm going to have to actually end up using in real life.
So sort of a real-life version of fleur-de-lis in everybody's mind.
Yes. And in fact, I'm pretty certain that's where my subconscious, picked up on the idea of Fleur being Fancy Pants is both lover and bodyguard. Well, in my Quest for Dreamscape, she started out being a bodyguard and then grew into something else. She was actually one of Celestia's mares in waiting who got assigned a permanent.
Retuning the guitar.
Ah. I'll leave those light actually so they show up against the top.
Yeah, Markovy, we have a Portuguese speaker in our D&D group.
Ah.
Yeah, she's the rogue.
Ah, yes. Peak. Is she gonna go? What's a flare? It's the swashbuckler.
Yeah, swashbuckler specifically.
Right.
Which is similar to the Bard College of Swords, but yeah, she's going to be a swashbuckler.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Naughty Muffin says, who's the most equipped, who can handle themselves the most, and hardest to be killed off? Well, okay, basically, who's the tank? The problem with tanks is that they get beat up. So while they can take the biggest beating, they will get the biggest beating.
Spend most time in the garage afterwards.
Yeah. And at the moment, that's Cat's Paw's character, Gray. He's the sword and board fighter.
Yep.
They have another fighter in the group, but he went archer.
Leto.
Yeah. Basically, the roster of the party is Leto, who is a human archer, went variant human. Of course, she went variant human in 5e, with a sharpshooter feat. You've got Baron's character Cedric, who is Serva, which is basically a deer dude, who is a ranger.
Who looks like he's going to be going down to Planeswalker.
Right. Yeah. And then we're going to. So you have Catspaw's character, who is Gray, who is he's a fighter type. Who's probably going to take again sword and board, likely to go the samurai route. There is Peak, who is basically my take on the Tabaxi, Liani rogue. Dusty's character is Thatch, which is a character that he is voicing for in the upcoming Thatch and Dial animated series, who is a bard. He's going to go College of Swords. There is Penzi, who is Brian's character, who is a illusionist, human illusionist. Is that the full group?
That's the full group?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's 6 people. It's a pretty damn big group.
You're doing a very good job of keeping it balanced, and everybody. It's not like I sat around all evening and did nothing. You're doing actually a good job of keeping everybody engaged, which is not easy to do.
Yeah. Yeah, Fancy Pants. Kitty says she pictures Fancy Pants as old money. There is new money and old. Old tends to be very laid back and hard to pick out in a crowd. Nouveau riche tend to be snobby and spend money lavishly, easy to spot. I have a story on that.
Yeah, let me just put one thing really fast on it. That's more or less how I see him, but I also see Fancy Pants as being like one of those 19th century Victorian gentlemen who sometimes would do things for the crown but didn't have a portfolio in the government. And he's one of the ones who occasionally goes out and takes care of business for Celestia. Anyway, go on.
Yeah. So, I don't keep in contact with her anymore. Her name is Allison. She's a graduate of Caltech, and she's currently doing lasers for the Department of Defense. She's just brilliant, in optics. Her dad was one of FedEx's very first pilots. So when he retired, he was loaded. Now Memphis has got a lot of old money. And her dad told her a story about, he was at a club, where basically, it's one of those, it's a country club, not a men-only club, but it was, a money-only club. And he was there one day, and there's this one guy that was always bragging about how much money he had. Like, oh, I'm worth $30 million. I'm worth $30 million. I'm so rich. And then some guy says, 30 million, huh? Cut your cards for it. What? Cut your cards for it. High draw, you know, high draw takes the money. You know, your 30 million against 30 million of mine. Put him in his place real good. It's like, son, you're new money. You're a fool.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Learn some humility.
Yeah, well, or not necessarily humility, but you got to understand, you're trying to swim in sharky waters.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and old money, some of them can be real pricks, but but they have a different way of dealing with the world. And again, I will never understand old money because I am not old money. I am not money.
Yeah. You know,
but I can see how that would change your outlook both for good and for bad.
Yeah. Speaking of old money, and actually speaking about my former job and my sponsor, years ago, there used to be a fellow who used to come into University R. His name was Jim D'Amico. Nice fellow, great.
You mentioned him once before, yeah.
Great guy. You know, salt of the earth. Just never made a big deal about it. He did do good framing job. He did lots of stuff where he was donating frame pieces to charity auctions for schools and everything like that. And we found out years later that his family owns several blocks still of downtown San Jose. And what had happened was during the Great Depression,
Hi, Two-Tailed.
a whole lot of folks. Oh, hello.
Knew somebody new, Two-Tailed Derpy. Welcome.
Welcome. A lot of basically landlords basically failed on their loans for their mortgages, and the D'Amico family was watching this going, and of course the shops were threatened, the shops were struggling and everything. They're going, if we don't do something about this, downtown San Jose is just going to collapse. So they went in and they bought all the property. And then they went around to all the shops and said, look, we need you. You are a part of the community. If we don't have you, this community is going to fall apart. So what they did was they put landlords on a $1 a month lease and said, okay, we're going to put you on this lease until you can get back on your feet. And when you get, now one of the things that was a requirement was they were allowed to see store owners' books once a year, do an audit. And it was, okay, yeah, you're still struggling, that's fine. Pay your workers, keep stock on your shelf, keep the stores
Stay
open.
Yeah.
The community needs you. We need this drugstore. We need this, tailor. And so they did that for several years until stores started doing better. Then they slowly started, okay, your rent's $10 a month. Your rent's $100 a month. And they started bringing it up until finally they were back up again.
Back to market, yeah.
Yeah, and the D'Amico family, to my understanding, to this day, can basically walk in the city of San Jose. Look, we have an idea for something, and they're going, we're all ears.
Yeah.
And they've
not all rich people are evil.
And they never have tried, to my understanding, cashing in or saying San Jose owes us something or anything. They're going, we did this because, for lack of a better word, it's the Christian thing to do.
It's the right thing to do.
And they were very, very Catholic.
Yeah. I think I see somebody new. Hello, non-vector.
Hey, well, all kinds of new
Welcome
people
or
tonight.
welcome back, as the case may be.
Yeah, well, how many people have in the chat tonight, actually?
We have 57 at the moment.
Okay, all right.
We
yeah.
peaked at 65 as far as I know.
All right, well, good evening.
So, Mighty Muffin is at it again. What would you guys consider to be the casino game is the one that I consider to be that I'm best at?
None for me.
Blackjack. And the
maybe blackjack, but yeah.
And the only reason for that, blackjack or low limit Texas Hold'em, and that's just because I know what the odds actually are. I know how to play the cards. Playing my opponent, is another matter.
Yeah.
But but again, I know what the odds are. And I know when. Okay, old man story. You like old man stories? yeah. Hookers. No. I was hanging out with one of the brony folk. Nathan.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of the mil spec bronies.
Mm-hmm.
And we went up to Lake Tahoe one day. He had never seen Lake Tahoe, even though he lived in California all his life.
Ah, well, I'd fix that.
We fixed that. So, went up to Lake Tahoe, put the top down on the convertible, and just, we're doing a lap of the lake. We stopped in at the Calneva Lodge, which is right on the border of, it's on the north shore of Lake Tahoe, right on the border between California and Nevada. The state line goes right through the building, literally.
Mm-hmm.
You can stand in California and play a slot machine in Nevada. It was owned by Frank Sinatra It was frequented often by Marilyn Monroe and say and some of the others.
So it had some history.
It has some history, and it's had some interesting financial history. So we had lunch there. And we came out and said, okay, just for grins, I'm going to play one hand of blackjack. And I said, okay, well, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. So I found a blackjack table that did single deck, and it was a $100 limit.
Mm-hmm.
The reason you do single deck is because the reason why you want single deck is so you can do card accounting, and the reason why there's a limit on that is so the casino can minimize its losses. Because if you count cards with a single deck blackjack, you can actually have a very, very narrow advantage. But I just screw it. So I put down $100, and I was dealt 2 10s.
Ooh.
So that's almost a certain win, particularly because the dealer was showing a 6.
Yeah.
So I said, I want to split. If you have 2 cards of the exact same, 2 10s, 2 kings, 2 aces, you can split them, and then you have to put down another bet of the same amount. Then you play the hands separately.
Mm-hmm.
So I split them, and put down another 100, and I drew a jack and a king. 20 and 20. Dealer had a 6 showing, flopped a jack over at 16, must hit. Picked up a 7, that's 23. Dealer went bust. $400. Thank you very much. I took it and I walked out.
Yep. Most important thing about that kind of thing.
Right. I mean, I was prepared to walk away. With I said, okay, I can afford to lose, this much money. It's like, but I'm just doing this for fun and to show off for Nathan. And it paid off, so what the hell.
Paid for your lunch.
Yeah, paid for the whole trip and a little bit of extra money. So when we got to the South Shore of Lake Tahoe, we went to the fancy steakhouse on the top of Harrah's, the one on the 18th floor that has a view of the lake, and we had a good steak.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Texas Hold'em.
Yeah.
As I've told my Hold'em story. We'll tell it again. Old man stories.
You got 5 minutes for an old man story.
Yeah, and then a very quick duty.
Mm-hmm.
I was playing low limit Texas Hold'em, $2, small blind, $4, big blind, controlled betting increments. First say the deal and the flop were $2 increment raises. The turn in the river, the third, the last 2 cards were $4 increments. And I was losing money slowly, because I came in with $100. I'm gonna lose $100. And the guy to my right.
Oh, the story.
Yes, ancient. I mean, he was like in his 80s or 90s, and he was mothering and making all these sounds like, hey, it's just like straight out of Central Casting, And I realized after a bit he was commenting on my play subtly. You're not really supposed to do that, but he was giving me when you're in that position, I wouldn't have done that, And I started listening to him, and then I noticed on the inside of his right forearm was tattooed a many-digit number, kind of crudely. Oh, you're a survivor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Later on, I asked the pit boss, does that guy come in? I was like, yeah. Is he? It's like, yes, he's a survivor of Dachau. It's one of the concentration camps in Nazi Germany.
Yeah.
That was a man who knew more about life than I would ever know. Yeah. I'd better listen to him.
Yeah,
I started listening to him, and my stack of chips started to get bigger instead of smaller.
Yep. We said one of the guys coming to University Art was a survivor, and that was when I finally had that realization, like, oh, right. He never made a big deal about it. It was just, even though apparently he did actually go to the schools and talk to kids about this is why we must not forget.
Yeah. I will tell you a story very similar to that about your lesson 2 generic after the break. It is 8:27, so I'm going to do the world's fastest plug for University Art, who is our sponsor. Thank you, University Art, for sponsoring Barron by keeping him supplied in art supplies. Why, yes, University Art is an art supply store. They also are a high-end framing shop with outlets in San Jose and Redwood City and Sacramento. They have knowledgeable employees who are all artists themselves, who are not on commission, so they will sell you the right thing, not the expensive thing. They have workshops, they have demonstrations, they have seminars, they have craft fairs. It's a fantastic place. They sometimes even lend us some of their employees to show up on our show. It's great. So thank you, University Art, for sponsoring Baron. And if you guys ever have any framing or art supply needs, and if you're in California, that's the place you go. That was the fastest one of those I've ever done.
Hey, there we go. A speed plug.
Yeah, there you go. Hi, Jeff. Hi, Mike.
So, Copper, did I do her justice? Tell me the truth. Need to know.
Yep. Yes, that's true. Say generic. I did tell the story last time, but it was appropriate, and we have some new folks. Hello, Asalis. There's one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, there you go. Got the plug in.
Yeah.
Anyway, we are almost at break time.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, and Copper is very, very happy with it.
That's what I want to hear. All right, because like I say, I'm going to be doing these for everybody who's pledged at least $100, and I want them. I still sometimes feel like I need to do more for my patrons because like I say, I couldn't do what I'm doing. If some folks are new and everything, this is my job.
Yep.
I don't have a day job. Monday morning, I'm not going to work
You're
someplace.
at your day job.
Yeah, I'm working right now. I'm on the clock, basically earning my pay and everything. So this is very much. Thank you for keeping keeping Baron out of a drafty cardboard box.
And Mark Harvey, this is a Patreon reward.
Patreon, well, no, it's basically an attainment award for people who usually aren't in my
of sorts.
Of sorts, yes. I do commissions. At the moment, my commission docket is closed. I'm getting some stuff cleared out. When my commission docket becomes available, I'll be announcing it on Twitter, DeviantArt, this stream, at Smudge Marks Engel Works website. There'll be multiple locations where the word will go out.
Brown Bear, that would be something that Baron would want to discuss with you in say in private notes, say on DeviantArt, or send him an email to Baron at smudgemarks-engelworks.com, because they vary so much depending upon the exact details.
Yeah, the complications and everything.
Right. Anyway, I'm going to push this button right here.
Okay. Aha.
There you go.
All right.
Because it's time to take
a break,
5-minute break, and then we're going to come back for the last
hour,
one hour of the show, and then we're going to eat some proper St. Patty's Day food.
Oh.
There's corned beef and cabbage and Kilcannon cooking.
Kilcannon.
That's mashed potatoes with stuff in it.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Exactly. So we will see you guys in 5 minutes. Go be biological, because that's what we're going to do. We won't break time itself. That's your job.
Yeah.
So 5 minutes or 5 years if you're being relativistic.
Take care.
What?
Hey,
Nothing.
I'm back on camera on time, Mr. Producer.
2.
Yes.
Who the hell is that with a light shining off of their shiny pate?
Shiny head.
Yes. Hey, Mr. Shiny Head. Mr. Shiny Head, you were showing us something really cool today.
I was. But it's a surprise.
Ah, that's right. Okay, we have to hang on then.
That's a surprise. This isn't a surprise.
Yeah.
Not a surprise.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, I've been showing people just how badly it can be played.
Yes. For any folks who are in the chat who might not know, this here is Dusty, the manliest brony. This is the guy who got basically my break in the fandom.
You didn't need my break. They just had to find you.
Yeah, well, you gave me the chance for them to find me. So.
I'm there. I still can't get used to him bald.
Come on, Brom. You only knew me for what, 20 years when I had hair?
I think that pretty much sums it up, doesn't it?
Actually, what's funny is now I can't imagine you with hair.
With hair.
Yeah.
It's been that long.
Yeah. Well, it really does work for you.
I think I've been bald for what, 6 years now?
Oh, more than that.
About 5 years.
About 5 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
So basically, it was right after your very first brony video. The most interesting brony in the world.
Yeah. You have to understand, Orca. He's the producer, but Selly here, she's the executive producer. Yeah. We have basically, when we're talking in the chat and everything. Actually, you can switch to.
Then you have Brayburn.
Oh,
Executive producer.
No. He's one of the one of the grips or best men.
He's one of the best. He's one of the best
He's
boys.
Best boys.
Boy,
Yeah.
he's the best boy.
Well, ain't that the kindest thing you ever done said to me?
Yeah. No, Luna's on my shirt. Yeah. But yeah, in fact, when we're talking on the main camera, switch please, and I'm looking at you, what I'm actually looking at is a Celestia that sits on top of the little web camera we have. That's what I stare at. That's kind of like, so I'm staring eye contact with you, and I'm looking at the text, I'm looking at this. That's how we establish eye contact. I need to get my AJ back up here. My AJ's fell off.
Your AJ fell off.
Yeah.
What'd you do with your AJ?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure you don't.
I don't see
Really?
Yeah.
Anyway,
I
later.
think she's downstairs.
Yeah, we need to get back up there on the
I
camera.
see him in the painting reflector. There you go. Praise the harmony.
Yeah, exactly.
All praise the sun butt.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to push this button right here.
I'm going to switch over my...
Ooh. So what you doing in the 4th hour, Mr. Barron?
Well, what I'm going to be doing here is a bit of Equestria Girls art. And pardon me for a moment because I'm going to check something here. I need to bring up new reference. And this one is for Jeremy J on Patreon. This is basically, he's another one of the, you've pledged $100, you get some stuff. Oh, perfect. That works. Thank you very much. Now I have an AJ to look at. Because she's the bestest, hardest working pony. There is. And he wanted me to do something kind of interesting, so I'm going to try this. I am not familiar with the video game XCOM, or XCOM 2 to be particular, but he wants me to do a kind of crossover picture of Sunset. Like, she went through the portal and thought, well, maybe I could take over some of our world and ride, and said, wait a minute, this world's already been taken over.
Oh, Time Lord, Time Lord, Time Lord. I'm going to have to hurt you now, son. Yep.
Yes, he's digging those onion rings because they're awesome.
What's out of tune? Which string? Which string's out of tune? You.
I'm glad you're asking it because I couldn't tell you.
There we go. Yeah.
So she's supposed to be in Scout.
My B string. Hello, Teal Dragon. Hello.
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 Welcome. And Larsus has shown up. Awesome. Oh, actually, I'll have to thank Rebel for turning it on. We do this every Saturday night usually, and do this from 5:30 to 9:30. And tonight I'm taking care of Patreon rewards and some. I want to rethink this one. Hang on a second here. I've just got a thing going. Wait a minute, that's not running in the right direction. So, give me a sec. I need to chew on this for a second and get my head in my game. Okay.
Larsus would love to see your take on the regalia.
Regalia.
The royal regalia. The regalia, the regalia.
For Equestria or somewhere else?
Der Bergen ist Nacht.
Okay, so there.
Boogen.
Yeah. That boogin. What's a boogin? You got a boogin on your nose. Royal regalia, an ATM machine. Teal Dragon, you are correct. You can say you had some cabbage on St. Patty's Day, albeit it was in Kajin and Hatok.
I'm going to do this. I want to definitely our site because I've got to put the. I've got basically a suit of armor I need to work with, and I need to put her cutie mark on the front of the armor so it's visible. So I need to do it from a different angle. But that's a cool action shot. But that's an action shot that's not going to let you see what has to be visible in the picture.
Yep. Well, you see, Mighty Muffins, because Twilight's kind of an absentee in most of the Equestria Girls and is not part of their main six, but Sunset Shimmer certainly is. I say that in Equestria Girls, the main six does not include Twilight, but does include Sunset, so there.
And of course, they're for the main seven, too.
Yeah. I want to say Rainbow Dash because she gets all the camera time, but her character isn't really. not doing much.
In
Yeah, that's
Equestria
actually
Girls?
that's actually one of the gripes that I have with Equestria Girls is there is not a lot of character development in it, or at least not for the main 6. Yeah, again, Equestria Girls is all about Sunset Shimmer. That's the bottom line, you know. And again, if it wasn't for Sunset Shimmer, I would find Equestria Girls frankly to be kind of boring. But she's a great character. So there. Objection!
Objection! Objection!
Yeah. She just needs to go back to Equestria and be a pony. Well, that kind of happens in one of the EQG specials.
So we won't spoil. For folks who haven't seen it, we won't blow the.
Right. So yeah, go see the most recent stuff.
And on YouTube, they've actually released the version that has like 6 minutes additional stuff put back in again, which I'm kind of curious to see. Catspaw's seen it. I have not seen it yet. That apparently fills in some stuff.
Oh, that's what he meant by the regalia.
Oh.
That looks like a reskinned Mustang to me. No, really, it does.
Yes.
Yeah. Although the back seat.
Is it Maserati? With that three tread?
Probably, yeah. But it still looks like a reskinned Mustang to me. Yeah. You got objected. I think it's interesting that in Equestria Girls there are 7 Harmony Stones. Well, there you go, Toxic. You just got sat on. Yes, I have the regalia in Forza Horizon 3. It's a driving game.
Ah.
Yeah. Final Fantasy team actually combined elements from Rolls-Royce, Bentley, Maserati, and Mercedes-Benz to design the regalia. Still looks like a Mustang to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're significantly larger than Mustang. Mustangs are not large.
No, they're not.
You know, I mean, they look large because they're chunky and have, you know, these very square shoulders, you know, going on with the fenders and all that. But if you take a look at how much real estate they actually cover,
not that much.
They are not very
They're
big.
about the size of my Kia Soul.
Yeah. You know, I mean, I park my car in the parking lot. If I scoot up all the way to the front of the parking spot, you know, the rear end kind of disappears.
Kind of like Sunday when we went to the market. I was like, oh, okay, where's Lance's car?
Yeah. Celestia calls the human world her world. That's not Celestia. Principal Celestia, she shares a name and that's it. Because Principal Celestia is an idiot.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
She is so close, and I smell corned beef.
Yep. And bacon.
Oh.
And bacon, because he was dicing up bacon.
Oh God.
Okay. Yeah. He's being evil.
Bye, guys. I'll see you guys later.
It's been a great stream. I'll see you later, guys. Oh, look at the time. It's 9:30 already. Gotta go.
Yeah. Yeah. Starlight Glimmer is the most developed character in EQ Girls. Well, she's certainly the most developed character in My Little Pony season 7. It's actually kind of funny because there's one of the reaction crew that I watch. He's not part of the fandom or anything like that. Goes by Smurf Vlogs.
Oh yes.
The guy with the giant dreadlocks.
Yes.
He started off just hating on Shimmer. You know, did not like her a bit. But he's come around.
Well, I have to admit, I was not really. The whole thing for me, I was kind of bummed about them initially, of them, you know, reforming her, is that she was the best villain they had at that point. It was like, oh, Nelly. But I thought they did a very good, especially with the season finale, with the whole thing about going, boy, I'm sure glad you gave me a chance. Like, oh, yeah, right.
Yep. Yeah. Let's see. Shirley, what were you thinking when Diane Tiara was made editor of the school newspaper?
Yeah.
Well, as we have seen and we have discovered, Diamond Tiara's father funds most of the school.
Yeah.
So Diamond Tiara tends to get what Diamond Tiara wants.
And she's a character I'd like to actually see a little bit more now they've,
Now that they've reformed her.
Well, yeah, I mean, she's never going to be a character I'm going to really like, but she's at least like, okay, I have this ability and I'm going to use it, for something other than just myself now.
Yeah. Yeah, Toys R Us is going bankrupt. blockbuster. God, have they been around at all in the past 15 years? I
Well,
mean,
I don't think-
maybe
I don't
there's a
think-
couple little holdouts somewhere.
Yeah, but yeah, they've
Yeah, I thought they were long gone and
it's
buried.
like Radio Shack. Radio Shack's gonna close the 70 stores.
Yeah.
And I remember when Radio Shack was, in the holiday season especially, the Radio Shack flyer was a big deal.
Hey, welcome back, Horse.
Yes.
That's a question to guys. Who do I favor more, Shimmy or Glimmy?
I like them both. They both have their purposes. I think personality-wise, I like Shimmy. But Glimmy's is an incredibly complex character.
I'm going to give the nod to Glimmer. Yeah, Starlight Glimmer.
Yeah.
Yeah. If for no other reason, we see her more often.
Yeah.
But I think she's a good, complex character. I mean, there are some people that all the villain reformations in My Little Pony are rushed. There's no question about it. But what we saw in the season 6 closer was, during her fight with Twilight, finding out why she is the way she is, and then what Twilight did was basically show her and talked her down because, again, there was no friendship ray the way there was with the other, with the other conversions. And again, if you take a look at what Twilight said and what she saw, it makes sense for, for Glim Glam to have come around and realize, what was going on.
Well, the other thing
I believe the Reformation more than I believe, certainly Discord.
Yeah. The one that, even though I like Discord, I've learned to like Discord. The thing I will like about Starlight is that she occasionally falls back, and when someone makes a serious life personality change, very much almost like a psychotic break, you fall back on your old habits occasionally, and she will still fall back on occasion. Like magic's the answer to all problems, and so it's kind of nice, and I like the pairing her up with Trixie. Pairing her up with Trixie, I think, is a great idea.
Oh yeah, that whole the Little Miss Bad influence.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Starlight. Yeah, Cat's Paw is exactly right. The Starlight Trixie, Starlight Maud, thing. Great.
Yeah. Even though Bettina is of the opinion that with the whole Trixie Starlight thing, the sex between them must be amazing.
Oh boy, if this wagon's rocking, don't come a knocking.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Love DWK's take on Glims. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, so.
Yeah. All right.
Yep.
Glimmy's rolling around the.
I will remind you folks, by the way, DWK has a Patreon. It's a per video thing. He doesn't put out a ton of videos, so it's not going to cost you a bunch of money. But give him $1. Holy hell, he deserves it.
Yep.
The writer of No Second Prances said he needed a pony who would drive Twilight nuts. Of course, Trixie.
Yes.
Inconvenient Trixie.
Yes, I loved Inconvenient Trixie.
Oh yeah.
I remember one time I did the.
You did an Inconvenient
Trixie. Yes. With Bettina in the bathtub.
And now for lesson, what Trixie and Starlight get up to, we go down to Steve on sports.
Yeah.
I just hope to say Chrissy never gets reformed. Yes, we need a recurring villain who does not get reformed. Because otherwise it cheapens everything and also sends a bad message.
Yeah, basically, I think Twilight needs a Kobayashi Maru.
Yeah.
She needs this and Celestia going. Sometimes
you have to let him go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to decide that being their friend will mean sacrificing too many things that you consider special.
Yeah. Yeah. So and I think it would be great to have that moment.
Yeah. It wouldn't. It's one of those cases. It's a very valuable lesson. It won't be an enjoyable moment, but it'll be a very important moment.
Yeah. Yeah. So sombra explode.
I know a lot of people like Sombra, but I never got to know Sombra.
There's no there.
Yeah. I mean,
he's got a cool design, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah. I mean, there's a hint implied in the comics, but the comics are not 100% official canon. So.
New person. Hello, Jamfield. Well, welcome to the show.
Yes.
He's Baron, I'm not.
Yes. And we do this every other Saturday, usually.
Yeah. Although next every other Saturday we have off because of
Babs Combo. So we'll be doing a special stream on a Wednesday night.
10 days from now.
With Clear Skies, the creator of the Roan RPG
Good night, Rebel.
game. in the was Rebel saying goodnight. Good
Rebel
night,
saying
Rebel.
goodnight. Yep, Sombra was a throwaway character inside. Yes, he was.
Yeah.
It was voiced, by the way, by Big Jim Miller, who is the senior director of the show.
Oh, kind of like Brad Bird with.
Yep.
What's the kitty got say?
Yeah. Do it this way. Do it this way. Yeah.
No, like oh, give me the microphone.
Well, you're so smart. Do it yourself. Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes you need to have you have to get your Black Ops squad to slit a throat or two. Yes, that's and Baron has a plot arc about Celestia's mare in waiting, Phoenix in particular.
Yeah.
Oh, she is a problem. Sooner or later, Celestia is going to have to say, "You have served your purpose well." Bam.
Actually, without being a spoiler, there will be a moment that will come up in the Dreamscape. It happens during the royal wedding when some things happen and Celestia has to make a decision.
Yep. So, Sonny, have you noticed that the Alicorn amulet has the exact same colors as Sombra?
Yep.
Yeah. So I think that I would say maybe, and of course it's a corrupting force.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's the
And
One Ring.
it had a crystal.
Yeah, crystal. You know, so that may be an artifact of Sombra's creation. That would certainly make a great deal of sense.
Still should have put it in a vault someplace. Celestia needs to get a little bit better about tracking down these incredibly dangerous kingdom-destroying artifacts and I don't know.
And for that matter, incredibly dangerous kingdom-destroying ponies.
Yeah.
Of course, that's what Celestia's School for Gifted Unicorns is keeping an eye on potential enemies of the state.
We build dossiers. I actually need to change that angle. That's off. Yes, I'm using a ruler. Rulers are not cheating, folks.
Raw Green Season 8 premieres next Saturday.
Yep.
There was a leak of some of the episodes in incomplete form. I've managed to avoid them.
Yes.
But the actual show season opener is this coming Saturday, the 24th. Let's see. What do you think of the theme for season 8 being? Again, I don't know anything about that.
Yeah. So la 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 la.
Yeah, mighty. So I don't hear you. You don't exist.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. I haven't seen the trailers.
Yep.
But if it rephrase the relation between show and comics try to adhere to the show. The show has no obligation to the comics. Yeah, so it's a secondary canon.
Yeah.
It's a rifle. Yeah, not a cannon.
I don't know. It's called more of a fouling piece.
They can't reform a sadistic slaver like Sombra. The implication is he's dead.
Yeah.
Although we did see him as a heavy in the alternate timeline of season 6, episode 25.
Mm-hmm.
When it was, Sombra's, restored and, re-militant Crystal Empire slaves versus Equestria, and Equestria was just barely holding on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, that was again, it was a taste.
Yep.
Well, Larsis, we had ciabatta rolls, with our lunch. I made breakfast sandwiches, basically.
Tasty breakfast
scrambled
sandwiches.
eggs, Jimmy Dean pork, sage, sausage, and cheese, and put them on ciabatta rolls. So that may be why they went away so quickly.
Okay, let's see here. I need to look at the scout armor.
Yep.
Skirmisher's armor, that's what it is. The skirmisher's armor. I need to look at the skirmisher's armor here, start getting that.
Yeah, Teal Dragon painter's tape or gaffer's tape works well too.
Yes.
Does not leave residue.
Yep. Now, I'm going to make this a little bit lighter in weight so that it looks a little bit more... The one of the great things about modern combat armor is it's a very egalitarian thing because everybody looks awful wearing it.
Exactly.
I was gonna try to,
it's like military haircuts. Everybody's ugly.
or then those your prescription frames for your glasses, BDC controlled birth control devices.
Okay, we don't know if there is a season 9 yet, Prowl, or at least I don't. I would like there to be. I'm going to give it 50-50 at best.
Yeah, I understand. Look, this is thing that there will be, but that's the end, and then they start the new.
Yeah, well, they need a new generation.
Yeah, the reboot.
If nothing else, all of Generation 4's show assets are in Flash, and they can't port them forward to Toon Boom,
which they want to do.
Right, and that was the basis of the movies. You know, the movie rather. You know, and they're running out of computers that can run. You know,
The old version of Flash that they're using.
yeah, exactly. You know, they're having to like install like Windows 7 and then lock Windows 7 from upgrading and to do all kinds of BS stuff just to be able to run the software that the show is rendered upon.
Yeah, it's now becoming a liability.
Yeah. So here's the question: which of the alternate timelines would be the most livable? Nightmare Moons.
Yeah.
She got what she wants, and you've noticed that in all the other timelines, there's war, there's destruction, there's doom. Nightmare Moon, everything is clean. Everybody seems to have a job. Everything's in good repair. It's just there's a despot on the throne. And again, she's certainly got the most styling of the alternate timeline.
Yes.
I mean, say that restored castle is like, ooh.
Yeah,
that looks a lot nicer than Twilight's castle.
Yeah, I need to actually get around and doing that for Earth Pony Creation so he can burn that on the wood. It's been a while since I've sent him any new stuff. I need to give some new stuff.
Yeah. Yes. Christie's, I don't think is livable because the implication is that everybody is, basically being pod peopled. What happens to the original people?
It's the Matrix.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think Nightmare Moons was certainly the most livable. It may not be the most cheerful place, but I saw no signs of distress.
Yeah.
So the Nightmare versus Singapore. Okay. we'll give that. In Nightmare Moon's rarity was still making things look fabulous. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And she actually looked good with her hair in a bun. Look, that's rarity. She can make things work.
You don't think any pony would rebel? Of course they would.
Oh yeah.
Of course they would. But the thing is that it doesn't matter how utopian a government is. The more utopian it is for one person, the more hell it is for somebody else. And you can bet that even in Equestria, there's a CD. Well, again, there's the what's his face? Daring Do's nemesis.
Okay. Yes. Caballero.
Caballeron. Yeah.
Yes. And this guy's accent's all over the place. Oh God, I loved Quibble Pants. I've met that kind of person at conventions, and they drive me nuts. But he was a very accurate portrayal of. Yeah.
Yep. Nightmare Moon says, Nightmare Moon, or Ari says Nightmare Moon would stomp that. Yeah. Who's the chief loyalty officer?
Mm-hmm.
Rainbow Dash.
Yep.
And the Timberwolves just blasted away. Yeah. Mm-hmm. The sheep are slaves in Equestria, sold to the Griffins for food in return for the Griffins' loyalty. Yeah. The Pearl of Night, how can the plants survive there? Because magic.
Yeah.
Should be noticed that with the upcoming season, MLP has surpassed all of the Star Trek series with a number of seasons. Yeah, a lot of them, several Star Trek seasons had 7, but we're going to 8.
Mm-hmm. In fact, we're going to hit, if we do season 9, we will hit 200 episodes. Yeah. I wonder if they're going to do a special episode 200.
That would be nice, yeah.
Yeah.
So let's see. At the end of season 8, we will have 7 times 26.
Remember, one had 13.
Yeah. So at 195.
Yeah. So if they do season 9, we will have our 200th episode.
If they do season 9, it may even be a half season of 13 shows just to wrap everything up.
Yep.
Unless they're planning on segueing directly into Generation 5.
That was the idea. My understanding was because some of the stuff oh crap, I saw that. Did have the main 6 in there, just different designs, slightly different designs on it. But there was also some new characters they were showing. Like, okay, it looks like they're going to be bringing some new people in, maybe. All right, okay, new ponies.
So Mark of You wants to know who's this girl being drawn again?
This is Sunset.
Ah, so that's Shimmy. Yeah,
that's Shimmy.
Can't tell without the bacon.
Yep, haven't put the bacon hair in yet. That's right. And this is basically the
Sniper Sunset.
Well, basically all shotgun Sunset. And this is kind of the guy wanted me to do kind of a piece of crossover art for this, and I looked at the thing that they had the guys using in the game and realized, okay, it's a UTS 15 effectively, so I'm just using a UTS 15 as my my reference base.
Don Carnage, today Kate Suzette, tomorrow Kaboom.
Yes.
Tailspin only had 65 shows.
Yep.
Animaniacs only had 65 shows because that's a magic number for syndication.
Yep.
Pinky and the Brain had 100.
Yep.
Tiny Toons Adventures had, I think, about 50.
Yep.
Something like that.
Yeah, a lot of these shows did not actually go as long as some people, I
Yeah.
remember, no, it wasn't that long.
Megan, Cat's Paw. Megan was the human in Generation 1 My Little Pony.
Yep.
The little girl that the ponies befriended.
Yes, and it's kind of interesting going, wow, they had a lot more people getting killed on camera in first generation.
Yeah. Yeah, so the Schmooze was an Eldritch horror. Yes.
Yeah. It absorbed ponies. Like, oh. There was a couple others like
It was a gelatinous cube.
yeah, and it was one other character. I'm trying to remember who it was. Someone mentioned, yeah, she in Gen 1. It was actually this horrible demon that got killed on camera. It's like, oh, Megan offed him. Like, okay.
Yeah, Schmooze was gray goo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys didn't fall for my gray ooze trap.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it was sad.
Well, we already had enough things on our plate at that moment. Sorry.
Yeah, but there was loot.
Who cares if you're dead? Besides, we were worried whether the gnolls were going to catch up with us.
Regular no. Yeah.
And if they did, we'd be null and void. You walked right into that one.
I did. Like a bird flying into a clean window.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. The 80s Brave Star, they were 30-30 and Sarah Jane. Yeah. So there was a show in which Brave Star's hero, who had made him want to become a marshal in New Texas, had been basically doing American Gladiator type stuff, and he never lost, and he finally lost, and he got so mad that he took out his gun and he disintegrated his opponent and killed him on screen. No G.I. Joe parachute comes out, or nobody can hit something. He shot him right in the face with his disintegrator and turned him into a pile of dust. And then Brave Star had to hunt down his hero who had turned into a murderer. You don't see that these days.
I understand that there was some talk about actually bringing back, doing a reboot.
Yeah, with New Texas having fallen to Tex Hex.
Yeah, and
with Brave Star on the other side of the law now,
Yeah.
as a declared outlaw.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, that would be interesting. What about Toon Boom? Blah, 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 blah.
That would be a question for Smudge.
Yeah, it's not a replacement for Flash. It's not a vector program. It's more like a traditional animation program. It's
a replacement for Maya.
Not even that. Because it's a bit of a because my wife uses Toon Boom occasionally, and all I've seen for her doing is all in 2D work. With Toon Boom. But I say I'm not the animator. You'd have to do some homework on that one.
Yeah, or better yet, Prowl, how about you show up for one of Smudge's streams, which happen on Fridays, with Baron as the moderator. So
yeah, there should be one happening this Friday, if all goes well. They usually start between 5. We're trying to get them once again starting at 5:30.
Yep.
We started last one at 6 because we wanted to try, and we did succeed in getting some technical issues hammered out before the stream.
Some say he complains that the stock market has no checkout counter and that he thinks best pony is a 67 Camaro with a 383 stroker. All we know is he's not the Stig because he's Baron Engel.
That's right. Thank you, Larsis.
Yep. Thank you, Jeremy Clarkson, the world's tallest boob. Yeah. And let's not talk about the reboot. Yeah. No, Reboot, the original Reboot series was good. I don't know about the Reboot. It sounds like it's Highlander 2. It doesn't exist. Say 3030 should get ponified for MLP Gen 5. Get on it. Yeah.
I'm actually kind of surprised there's not more fan art of 3030.
Oh, there is, but probably not in the places you go.
Yeah. Definitely are the
So I've heard.
NSFW.
So I've heard.
Yeah. You've heard. You actually haven't seen. Okay.
Thundercats reboot was brilliant. Just pity it lasted one. I didn't care for it.
Yeah.
I thought they were trying too hard to be edgy, by having the characters bitching at each other all the time and all that. Yeah. Trivia: Matt Mercer was Tigra.
Yes.
He was Tigra in the reboot. Matt Mercer's my current favorite voice actor because he's a hunk.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Your waifu.
Yeah. Yep. NSFW stands for Needs Some Food, waifu. Yeah. Well, the Thundercats were, yeah. Although again, the original Thundercat, it's funny. My current job, when I first came in there, I was reporting to the VP of product, and he was a Thundercats fan, the original Thundercats.
Mm-hmm.
Let's be specific. He was a Chitara fan
Mm-hmm.
because he thought Chitara was hot. And so every time that he would walk away from his desk and leave his computer unlocked, we're a security company, mind you. We're supposed to lock our computers when we walk away. I would change his desktop to say to a barely okay for work picture of fan art picture of Chitara. He eventually learned to start locking his computer.
Oh, valuable learning experience. There.
Yeah, and so I went and I bought one of the Funko Pop Chitaro bobbleheads, and I was thinking about epoxying it to his desk, but I wanted a job instead, so I just gave it to him. You know, and we still work with him from time to time. You know, as a consultant. He's moved on, but you know, he still comes back, you know, once in a while. Yeah, Lars says E621 is, it would say, will burn your eyeballs out if, you know, unless you are made of stern stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, Highlander, there should have been only one.
Yeah, so like I made the observation in the chat earlier tonight. It ends up being a very surreal and meta dream when Bettina goes looking around for affinity. So she goes looking for herself in a dream. It's like, oh, okay.
Yep, saying you go to Derby Baru, so you turn on certain filters, and then you say OC : Patina.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Need new SWAT cats. I'm not sure that SWAT cats would translate very well. Unfortunately, well, police aren't very popular these days.
Mm-hmm.
But the social climate would have to change. The other thing is, I thought the show was a little bit limited, you know, in that there were only so many scenarios they could really run. You know, they would have to sort of expand the base mission, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
You know, same thing for Biker Mice on Mars and, you know, some of that other stuff. But cared when E621 is my hangout. Why would it be bad? I didn't say it was bad. I just said it would burn out your eyes.
Eyeballs.
Now, there are certain things that you have to filter because, you know, why would you do that? But once you've defined your particular list of what that is, you know, it's like, okay, well, you know, it's naughty. But then again, it's run by Bad Dragon. What do you expect?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Holy pre-painted plastics Batman and new Icons of the Realms mini is set to come out in 11 days. The dark side of the deviant arts desensitized me to anything the world could throw at me. You haven't seen...
Yeah.
Okay. Cadillacs and dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would work, Kitty. Make SWAT cats like cops. You know, bad cat, what you gonna do? Yeah, and just all that, you know, lock him up. You know, oh, that would be great. Yeah. Well, you want to make a series, you make it out of them fighting herds.
Yeah.
Of course, nobody would do that. It's like it's a kid's show based upon a fight game where the characters kick the snot out of each other. We're not, the world is not made of stuff sufficiently stern to deal with that. I am worried about the Animaniacs reboot.
Yeah, because the first time they did that, Steven Spielberg said, no, do anything you want. No one's going to be paying attention. This time they will.
The dark side of DeviantArt is a pathway to many abilities some consider to be unnatural. What's natural is hanging around in trees and throwing poo at each other. Well, we don't hang around in trees anymore, but we do have 4chan.
Yeah. Or Reddit.
Yeah. They are indeed doing Usagi Yojimbo. Yes.
Yes.
That will be good.
Dusty is waiting with bated breath. I'm waiting with bated breath.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so it is 9:12. I'm going to do the final duty of the night. You know,
Yay! Just a joke. Like I say, I'm going down tomorrow there, so we want to make sure that I'm welcome when I walk to the front door.
Devil went down to UA El Diablo looking for a brush to steal. Because we want to say thank you to our sponsor, which is University Hard. University Art is a high-end art supply store with offices in San Jose and Sacramento and Redwood City, California. Oh yeah. They have an excellent staff that are all artists themselves, but are not on commission, so they won't sell you the expensive stuff. They'll sell you the right stuff. They have seminars. They have world-class framing. They have demonstrations. They have workshops. They have craft fairs. They got just about damn near everything. It's not just a store, it's a community. And they sometimes even lend us their art people. You know, that would be people like Jeff and Jaya.
Well, not anymore. Jaya's
Not
now,
Jaya. Jaya's escaped just like you did.
Jaya's now doing this, chasing her dream thing.
Absolutely. So we want to say thank you to them for keeping Barron supplied in art supplies. University Art. I don't get my framing done anywhere else, so there.
All done.
Yeah.
Wheel of morality, turn, turn, turn. Show us the lesson we should learn. Trip to Tahiti.
Yes. If
Yeah.
it's,
I'm
if
just
it's
trying to imagine, standards and practice people getting away with, today with
Polty emergency.
Well, I can't
Oh,
go-
thank God. Oh, Polty.
Well, I can't go in there. It's disgusting. I love the whole thing about the turns on the light. All the cockroaches scurry along the walls. He looks down the toilet, then the light bulb burns out. I've been in that bathroom.
Well, it's been a long day, so in the words of Yakko Warner, mwah, good
night,
night, everybody.
buddy.
Good night, Time Lord.
Glad you could join us.
Have you tried fingerprints?
I don't think so.
With Kintaro voiced by Japanese American kid with Karihyoku Takawa and Kim Young. Yeah. Rainbows, horse apples. They got away with one.
Yeah. They only did that once.
Yeah.
Same way they got away with the trots.
Yeah.
I was very surprised that they got away in Cutie Pox with the trots. It's like, okay.
What are we doing tonight, Brain? Same thing we.
But
Rob
Burlap chased me so.
Rob Paulson, by the way, on there's a website called Project Alpha that's all about nerdy shows. Has something called Talking Tunes. Rob Paulson's a voice actor who, among other things, does Yakko Warner and a bunch of others. And he has a talk show called Talking Tunes where for 1 hour he just sits down and shoots the breeze with people in the animation industry. Project Alpha, they're pretty cool. ProjectAlpha.com.
They also co-host Critical Role, which is one of my favorites.
So are they part of the Geek Sundry
No,
umbrella? Okay.
not directly.
Okay.
Not directly. There's a lot of stuff that they have in common, but I remember when Mitch Biro married Minerva, Warner Brothers was not happy. Well, Mitch Biro got into other trouble too.
Yes.
Yeah. he just had a talent. He was one of the Sugar Plum fatties. That would be Mitch Biro, Mitch Marmel, Jim Grote, and not Pete Stoller because he's a skinny guy. Yeah. No, they dressed up in tutus and and great big cigars and Fidel Castro hats and did the dance of the Sugar Plum Fairies in a costume contest because it was a riot. Yep, that's right, Cat's Paw, right there. Is Mitch Biro still in jail? Don't know. Yeah, apparently the answer is yes. Yeah, he was caught with illegal material.
Yeah, we'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
Barrett Engel, come for the art, stay for the awesome.
Well, that's actually part of the thing,
That would be you guys.
Yeah. I mean, I make the comment and I make my postings about, and some amazing or great or awesome folks. And that's not, just marketing buzz or me, buttering my my audience. You guys really have helped build, as much as me doing the artwork here, it's what you have built in the community, in the chat and everything, and with each other that has made this very great.
So which show do we hope never gets a reboot because the original is good and we don't... Tailspin.
Yeah.
All they do is screw it up.
Yep.
Cause it's a combination of the original was so good and the potential for screwing it up is so bad. If you had asked me that 2 years ago, I would have said Animaniacs. We'll see. We'll see. I am cautiously hopeful because Spielberg is taking a direct hand in it. But Spielberg also allowed all the pistols in Close
E.T..
Encounters, or E.T., yeah, E.T. to be replaced by radios. And it's like, guys. Yeah. Yeah, Ted Shepard apparently got caught up in that same
Thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did Grote escape?
He wasn't in Arizona. He was up in Michigan at that point.
Okay.
At least like, that was my saying. Like I say, not going to go into details on that because there's a whole lot of speculation and hearsay. And
We'll just say illegal material and leave it at that.
yeah.
Yeah. Again, it's a Spanish drama. Who knew? Let's see. Yeah, Frank says you always make Patreon donations worth it. Of course, Baron makes Patreon donations. You should do Patreon donations.
Yeah, I mean, I'll put it out right now, you folks. If you've been enjoying what you've been seeing here tonight, there is a link down there to Patreon. As little as $1 a month, that's 3 1/3 cents a day, does make a difference. And I know some people say, well, what does $1 really do for Baron? Well, if
It makes you part of the army that pays his rent, is what it does.
yeah, and if everybody on DeviantArt gave me $1, my life would be very, very different. So there is strength in numbers.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, the other thing that you guys can do if you don't have $1, that's fine. Spread the word.
Mm-hmm.
That is just as important.
Yep.
Get some new people here. Keep us on the front page of Patreon. Which helps Baron immensely.
Yes, it does.
Follow him on Twitter because the more followers he has, the more he tends to show up in while you are gone and that kind of thing. So hey,
yeah,
you can help.
Yep. Or if you case I'd like to do something but I can't afford a regular thing, there's a thing called Stream Tips in there. Throw $1 or $2 in there. It all makes a difference because me and my wife, we make a living doing this, and we're living in a part of the country that's not the most economical to. Yeah,
I'm sure your landlord will want you the hell out so he can triple the price.
Right. Yeah, we're kind of grandfathered in.
Yeah, and Sunnyvale does have rent control, so yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So. Yeah, if literally everyone on DeviantArt gave you $1, which is several million people.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Then you can give me $1.
Well, basically, yeah. If I could do that, I would still probably take commissions, but I would take a lot less commissions. And I basically would spend all day doing nothing but getting Dreamscape stuff drawn up and out for folks. And I could maybe get folks caught up a lot faster because I'm trying to get caught up. Because there's stuff that keeps happening, especially in Equestria. Boy, things with Apple Bloom and Stone Main have gotten so interesting. And Luna has gotten very, very kind of frustrated on a few things and has gotten kind of rules lawyered by Apple Bloom and has had to bring in one of her, she considers kind of one of her, not maybe enemies, but folks that she didn't want to. She had to bring Patina in.
Oh, boy.
To sort some things out.
I need your help.
Yeah. Yes.
I see a new person. Hello, Neko-chow.
Oh, hi.
Hi. Got any other new people, or coming in here? Let me check. If you're new, I will see you. Bamrock, are you new? If so, welcome. If not, welcome back. Anybody else that is new? Are you new? KBC. So we've seen KBC. Oh, apparently, Kelly the Drawing Unicorn, she is drawing too. So as soon as we're done here, which will be about 10 minutes, everybody go over to Kelly the Drawing Unicorn's channel and make her giggle because it's epic.
Hey, maybe she'll be working on Catspaws.
Oh.
Yeah, Catspaw has a commission with her.
Oh. Well. Now, the best thing about Kelly's channel is her Be Good banner.
Yes.
It is glorious.
It will make you be good.
It is glorious.
It'll put the fear of Kelly in you.
Yeah.
All right. I'm not going to get to the shading on this one. I'm going to throw some shading on this when I get home.
Yeah, it's 9:22. Let's see. Link to Kelly the Drawing Unicorn. Well, let me see if I can get on here and click this thing, and I'll click it over there.
Okay, we're going to do that, and I'm going to need to, you know what, I probably did not grab that reference. So, silly me is going to jump over here. Yes, I did not. And I'm talking to myself. Hey.
Somebody has to. There you go. Yeah. She is fantastic. Very good. Say very, very good artist, and just a lot of fun.
And that's exactly what I was looking for. Was her cutie mark.
Yep.
I'll put on one of the sides of it, and I'll just put on the arm here as a.
See, what is Kelly up to? I want to click on this thing right here, and I want to say, oh, yeah, there she is.
Hey.
Working on vendor art.
Yeah, I think she's going to be at BabsCon.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I know that Luna's going to be there.
Yep.
There we go.
Yeah, adorkable.
Adorkable. Yeah, let's see what we got here. Click. Gigglehorn. Carton, it's like our Katarzyne. Yeah. That's just if you get if you get her giggling, she doesn't stop.
In fact, she sometimes will not have her mic on just because.
Yeah.
To keep that from happening.
Yep. That's beware the one of you in the house that gets the biggest slice of beef in the corned beef and cabbage thing. I am an alchemist. I can turn anything into sulfur.
Yeah. It's true, folks.
Yeah.
I've had to share her hotel rooms with him.
That's it.
Oh,
you snore, I make other noises.
Yeah. And by the way, Cat Spot, that's one thing we need to do is we need to check with the hotel, make sure that they've got our rollaway bed confirmed for Clear Sky, so we won't have a repeat of last year where I accidentally in my sleep kicked him out of bed.
Oh, he liked it and he knows it.
Apparently it's like, you're not my wife, punt.
This is not my beautiful wife. Many days go by, water flowing underground. The battle begins. Noises will be made. And you should all go pester Mighty Muffins on his channel too. He does a good channel. Always has something entertaining going on in the background. So.
Well, basically, I'm hoping to be at BronyCon. It's all going to depend on whether BronyCon gave Clear Skies and their own RPG a booth again this year. They've given it the last 2 years in a row, but until they commit, that's the big if.
Frank, your hope is forlorn. Yeah, no futon. No, this hotel room.
Yeah.
So, what is the word on BronyCon? Well, you're going, right?
Well, I'm going if Clear Skies gets a table or booth. He has not yet heard.
BronyCon's not good at communications.
Well, they've been pretty good and everything. They've been starting to announce the Artist Alley folks, but they haven't made the announcement yet. Now, it's still many, many months away, but I'm just putting that in as a caveat. It is my hope, it is my goal. I dearly hope to go back because every time I've gone back now, I've had a wonderful time. And I'd love to be able to hang out again with Shownuff and Nate Dogg and Crybringer and some of the other folks back there. And besides that, it's always an excuse to go around and see historical stuff because I love historical stuff. And you go back to that neck of the woods and they have historical stuff.
Sonny, that's the rumor. I don't know if that's confirmed or not.
Okay, yeah, here's the thing. They did technically last year open it up to other genres. As someone who was actually there, I can tell you 95% of it was still Brony.
Yeah.
The important thing is that it's no longer the exact same weekend as OtakaCon.
Yeah, that was a bad collision.
They've deliberately have moved things apart so that they're not crashing into each other, and that will hopefully make it a little bit easier so folks are saying, well, I got a choice which convention I'm going to do that weekend. So we'll have to see. For the most part, I've been very impressed with BronyCon on many things. Their registration for picking up your badges on the first day is fast.
So unlike BabsCon.
Please, BabsCon, have a better reg this year. We got around our problem because we were panelists, so we could get our panel badges early. And we'll probably get around if it's a problem this year because we're vendors. But that doesn't do anything for all of our customers who would want to come and buy stuff at the table if they're standing in line, can't get their badges.
Yeah.
There, editorial done.
Yeah. There's been some interesting goings on at the
But
at the board of directors level of
right, but it seems like this year they've gotten things a little bit better sorted out. They've been a lot more communicative, on the ball. You know, you send them something and you actually get an answer within a few days. So it's like, okay, I'm cautiously optimistic, and I want it to succeed because it's right in my backyard.
Yep. It is 9:28, sir.
Okay, why don't we wrap this one? Like I said, I'll do some shading, a little bit of shading at home on this thing. Alrighty.
All right. So fast.
Yes. Bump.
Bump.
All right.
Wah, wah, wah. Come buy this at BabsCon.
Yep.
You should buy it now because it's really cool.
It is. It's amazing.
Yeah, get the thing on the back here, didn't it? No, it's not. Let me get the right angle here. Can we even see
Yeah,
this?
you can see that. That is awesome. Silver Slinger. You folks are familiar with Silver
There you go.
Slinger's work? That's Silver Slinger's handiwork, craftsmanship right there. You know, from start to finish, this is a first-class act.
Yeah, so again, this is a reproduction of I think was it Rainbow Rocks or one of the Equestria Girls movies. This was Rainbow Dash's guitar.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it is fancy. It's a reworked, resurrected Fender Stratocaster.
Mm-hmm.
That
Well, this is Thunder Squire.
yeah. Well, again,
This is why Squire's a line, yeah.
right. It's got the little cool, fret marks there. It's, Rainbow Dash's stuff.
Yeah.
Oh wait, there's the octave one, number 12. It's a double.
Yep. And the thing that is
Upgraded electronics.
Yeah, the thing also too about is that he went through and took some of the electronics out of this and put some much better top shelf stuff in. Yeah. Yep, Silvers did that stuff.
Yeah, my fingers aren't that long. DDD. There we go. Yay.
Hey.
Hi G.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I want to thank you folks, all the new people who showed up tonight. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you can come back and see us. We're usually every other Saturday because of the convention coming up. The next stream will be Wednesday night, March 28th, same time starting at 5:30 to 9:30. I know it's a weekday, but it's the only time we can do it before the con. We're going to have clear skies and the seat over here. So if you have any questions about the Roan RPG, I'm going to be actually probably doing some art that'll be used in the next Roan book.
I promise to not play the guitar.
But I want to thank you guys all, for, I hope you follow me on Picardo, follow me on Twitter, follow me on DeviantArt. Like I say, if you've enjoyed this, and if you can through Patreon, that'd be great. If not,
Spread the word.
yeah, spread the word. That is worth something too. That actually carries some commodity. So folks, I want to say good night, and we'll see you around.
See ya in 10 days.
Mm-hmm.
And I push the button. I say bye-bye.
Good night.